Alright, let's get started. Anybody need to use the bathroom or anything?
I just have a question. I left my car in the meter.
At the meter?
Yeah. And I have until 11:42. How long is this gonna take? You know?
It's still 3 o'clock.
Can I go back and forth? Get in the meter?
If you miss something, you're not gonna be able to like get caught up with it. And once we start, we don't really stop. Like when you have one thing in the middle of the thing that you have like
I have until 11:42. Still an hour away.
Yeah, so when it gets closer to that time, if you need like 5 minutes, it's okay.
Yeah, I'll run back and forth.
Yeah, but like it needs to be just once. Like just move your car for once and then come back. Like you can't just keep getting up. You know?
No, I couldn't find parking anywhere.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's really hard to find parking here.
Just for employee name, Fast Track Mobile, what is that?
Which one?
Fast Track Mobile, is that just enough?
For the
Employee name?
employment name. It's employee name, so it's your name.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this car, right?
Alright, so how many of you have driven wave vehicles before? Nobody has driven wave vehicles? Wheelchair accessible vehicles?
I do.
You have?
Yeah.
Alright, perfect. So later on in the training, we're going to do an actual assessment of like putting the wheelchair into the vehicle, putting the seatbelts on. So for now, we're just going to talk about what the company is and everything you need to know about becoming a paratransit driver. Alright, so what is VGM Government Mobility? So our services are that we provide insured TLC licensed vehicles to government, federal, and local institutions, as well as to commercial organizations for shuttle, passenger, and car sharing services. We provide wheelchair accessible vehicles to government, federal, and local institutions, as well as to commercial organizations for paratransit and elderly transportation services. What we are and what we aren't. So what we are is that we own and we manage our own fleet. Our vehicles are driven by VGM Gov drivers, which is going to be you guys, or our clients' drivers. What we aren't is we're not a booking app like Uber, Turo, Curb, etc., and we're not a dealership, nor do we rent cars or do we sell cars. Alright? Our clients would be considered MTA accessoride, and our passengers would be people with disabilities or elderly people. So this is our project structure. At the top we have our project manager for MTA, Shahaz Khan. You guys won't be meeting him today, but you'll probably meet him on your first week at the company. And then you got lead dispatchers. Right, as of right now we have two, one for the morning and one for the night shift. Morning dispatcher, you guys are going to meet him in a few. He's going to come by like an hour or two. His name is Emmanuel. And our nighttime dispatcher is McCray. So then you have HR, employee relations, scheduler, trainer. Both of them are basically me. So I'll be scheduling all your shifts, and also any like problems you guys have, you guys can reach out to me directly. Any any concerns, any problems while driving, anything, you guys can reach out to me. We also have a car detailer. He's like the maintenance guy at the base. So anything that's wrong with your car, if one of your lights are out or a sign pops up in your vehicle, you can go to him and he'll have that taken care of. We have about 6 to 8 dispatchers. We have 3 in the morning and 3 at night. And then there's the drivers, which is you guys. Alright, any questions? And then behind you we have Lorraine. She's our administrative. She helps out in the office with all paperwork and everything. So after you guys take your drug tests and stuff, she'll be reaching out to you guys to see if you guys completed everything. Alright? Alright, ADA and paratransit services. So objectives. At the end of this section, you'll learn the skills expected from a paratransit service or accessorized driver. You'll know how to properly assist people with disabilities. And you'll also be able to communicate appropriately with accessorized passengers. ADA. A law that prohibits discrimination based on disability, imposes accessibility requirements on public accommodations such as lodging, recreation, transportation, educational, dining, stores, care providers, and places of public displays. This requires that paratransit service comparable to fixed route service be provided to persons with disabilities who meet ADA paratransit eligibility criteria and cannot use the fixed route bus or rail service. So what is a paratransit service? A paratransit service provides special transportation for individuals with disabilities and elderly who cannot use regularly scheduled buses like the MTA. Right, MTA Accessoride, a shared ride program that is exclusively for paratransit customers. It provides public transportation for eligible customers with disabilities. Accessoride operates 24/7, 365 days a year throughout the 5 boroughs of New York City and 3/4 of a mile into Nassau and Westchester counties. So when I say 3/4 of a mile into Nassau, do you guys know where Walmart is at Green Acres Mall? Right into Long Island, like right when you enter. So we don't go past that with Accessoride. So anytime you have a pickup or a drop off, it'll never pass that. Same thing for Westchester, 3/4 of a mile into. So VGM and MTA. So MTA Accessoride contracted us VGM Gov to provide supplemental paratransit services for prearranged Accessoride program trips. There are a few definitions. Ambulatory is a trip not requiring the wheelchair. Mind you, all of these terms you're gonna see on your manifest. So like, let's say they tell you have 5 pickups and 5 drop-offs for today. It's gonna show you if the passenger is ambulatory, if it's ambulant, does that person have a personal care attendant, which is a PCA, how many guests, etc. So let's just go over a few of the definitions. Ambulant is a vehicle equipped with the ADA compliant lift or ramp. PCA is a personal care attendant, a person who regularly assists the customer with his or her personal and travel needs. Non-ambulatory is a trip that requires a wheelchair or a lift. And a guest is any person accompanying an accessorized customer other than the PCA. And PCA is very important because later on as we tell you like how much we pick up in fares, just remember that PCA never pays. So they travel for free. So like for example, let's say I'm the customer and you're the driver and I come with 2 people, right? So I'm gonna pay my fare. If I say that one of those people are my PCA, that person's not gonna pay and then the other person is gonna pay. So it would be $5.50 because it's $2.75 per person. Like you know how the MTA has a regular fare of $2.75, so that's what we charge our customers. So they would pay $2.75, and then the extra guest would pay $2.75 as well. But the person that they say is the PCA, that person doesn't pay. All right.
What kind of document he must to show us?
I'm sorry.
What kind of document he
Yeah.
must
So
to show us?
they usually show you their accessorized ID card. So you can verify that that person is actually them, that's getting inside your car. For example, when you go for a trip, you're going to have a manifest on your phone in the app that we use, and it's going to say you're picking up Patricia, right? Let's say you're picking up Patricia. So when Patricia gets in your vehicle, she's going to show you her ID, it's going to say Patricia on it.
Yeah.
Alright, and then she's going to give you cash, and coins for the $275 that she owes.
Only cash.
Only cash. We don't take anything else. Well, sometimes you'll see vouchers, but you'll see more of that as we go on. Alright, but most of the time it's cash. Alright, cash and coins and stuff like that. Alright. Any other questions?
Most of those people just give you the ID number. Of
The
the access to right ID number.
yeah.
Is
So
that
they
okay, or you actually have to call?
yeah. So they can give you the most of the time we expect to see it, but if they don't show it to us, we're not gonna fight them. You know, we'll just let them be.
But you gotta get the ID number.
Yeah, I mean, if they refuse to give it, we're not in the business of fighting them or anything. Just drop them off, but make sure you can remember their names so you can let your dispatcher know that, hey, Patricia didn't show me her ID.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That way we can reach out to MTA and let them know, hey, your client did not show her ID, and then we'll move on from there. Right?
Are we allowed to take a photocopy of the ID itself once we are identifying the client?
No, so we're not allowed to take any pictures or anything. So they're just gonna show it to you, you verify it as them, and that's it. And if they refuse it, just keep a mental note to yourself, or maybe text the dispatcher or text me that, hey, I have a passenger right now, she refused to show me her ID, and that's it. After that, you don't have to worry about it, we're gonna take it to the next company from there. Alright? Alright, let's go. Same day request. The trip request intended to be fulfilled on the same day. It is submitted to command center and was not listed on a prior manifest. So in this company, we don't do same day requests or same day insertions. So you guys don't really have to worry about that. Scheduled appointment time. The customer's drop off time listed on the manifest. So the customer is gonna have a scheduled appointment time, and we're gonna try to make it. Okay, scheduled pickup time or scheduled appointment time is the pickup time that appears on the manifest. Scheduled pickup window. So the period from the scheduled pickup time to 30 minutes after the scheduled pickup time is our window to get there. Because sometimes there's traffic and stuff, so they give us that extra 30 minutes, but it still makes our performance go down if we're late to a pickup. So this company, it bases off on-time performance. So like every week or two, we'll take a look at all of our drivers and make sure that all of our drivers have over 90% pickup performance rate. So most of our drivers have about 90 to 95%. There's always a handful that have 85, and that's who we speak to. But that's usually because one of two things. So one is either they're very stuck in traffic because they're taking longer to get to the drop-offs and the pickups. The second thing is that breaks. So with breaks, we give you 30 minutes, which is which we take out of your check every day, right? So 30 minutes out of your 8 hours is going for lunch or break. What happens is, let's say you have a drop-off, right, in Queens. Let's say you pick somebody up, you have a drop-off in Queens at 12 p.m., right? At 1:30 p.m. or at 2 o'clock, you have another pickup in the Bronx, right? So you have those 2 hours to get to the Bronx. But now if you take your break in Queens, you don't know if there's going to be traffic on your way to the Bronx in an hour or two, right?
It's better to get in there.
It's better to make that drop off, go to the Bronx, go near that area where your next pickup is, and then take your break.
Yeah.
Because that way you just cut yourself traffic.
Yeah.
You know, there's no possible way of you becoming late now.
It's better to be in time.
Is the
Yeah.
break mandatory?
Yeah, break is mandatory, 30 minutes. Whether you, so you're gonna realize as you start driving that 8 hours you're not really driving for that 8 hours. Sometimes you'll be driving for 5 hours. Maybe you'll drive for an hour and a half, and then you have a break for an hour, and then you have another pickup. Then you have another break for an hour. So you'll receive multiple breaks throughout the day, but that 30 minutes is like mandatory. Because you're getting paid for the full day, regardless of how many trips you do. But that 30 minutes is what gets taken out of it. All right. Oh yeah. Transit check, coupon, and voucher. The paper script given to customers to be used in lieu of a cash fare payment as part of a commuter benefit program. So remember I was telling you about vouchers. So you're gonna see what it looks like. It's like a small blue paper that they use as a one-time voucher that Accessorite gives the clients to use. Instead of paying the $275, they can use that as a one-time thing. All right. Service animal, any guide dog, signal dog, or other animal individually trained to work or perform tasks for a person with a disability. Alright, disability etiquette. The basics. You ask before you help. You be sensitive about physical contact and personal space. And you think before you speak. Don't make assumptions, respond graciously to requests. Terminology tips. Some things you can say and some things you do not say. So what you can say is a person with disability, people with disabilities. What you cannot say is a disabled person, the disabled, handicapped, crippled, physically challenged, and differently abled. What you can say is a person who uses a wheelchair or mobility device. What you cannot say is confined to a wheelchair or wheelchair bound. What you can say is a person with autism. What you cannot say is an autistic person. What you can say is deaf, hard of hearing. What you cannot say is hearing impaired. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Alright. Disability etiquette. You don't have to feel awkward when dealing with a person who has a disability. The following references provide some basic tips for you to follow. And if you are ever unsure of how to interact with a person who has a disability, just ask. We're going to watch a short video on disability etiquette. Can everybody see?
Good morning, Rob. Morning there, man. Morning, guys! There's no need to be awkward.
Poor Bob. Like so many of us, he just doesn't know how to interact with people with disabilities.
It's pretty easy, really. People with disabilities are people first.
We need the same things that every person needs, like respect.
Good morning, everyone. Attention!
Okay. Maybe we need to be more specific.
The easiest way to show respect is to focus on the person, not the disability. It's okay. You'll get the hang of it.
One easy way to focus on the person is to watch the person signing.
Hey, has everybody completed the attendance sheet? Everybody signed the attendance sheet? Can you pass it up, please?
And not their interpreter.
I'm not sure if he did.
Did you do the attendance sheet?
We're their companion.
No.
It's really cool that you'd like to help, but do us both a favor and please ask me first. What you think might be helping?
I got you.
Wait, ah! Oh no, might actually not.
If you'd like to offer me help, let me hold on to your elbow. Don't take mine.
Hey, would you like to say mine?
Sure.
Assistive devices help us to live our lives. They're really important and really personal.
Grabbing the mower makes it weird for everyone.
But please only touch our devices and service animals if we've given you permission. And don't take it personally if I ask you not to. Remember that my service animal helps me all the time. Neither of us would like it if we were separated.
Remember, we make our own decisions. We sign documents, vote, volunteer, work, and pay taxes.
We get married.
So don't understand me just because I have a great smile.
Just because I'm blind does not mean I'm deaf.
Just because I'm deaf doesn't mean I'm blind.
And just because I use a wheelchair doesn't mean that I can't sweep you off your feet.
So take a deep breath, relax. We don't fight.
Unless we're really hungry.
Hello, lady. How are you?
And if you're not sure what to do, just ask.
Hi. Would you still like to see a menu?
No thanks, but can you please read it to me?
Sure, definitely.
Just treat us the way you'd want to be treated, and we'll all be okay.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Alice.
Morning.
Awkward no more. Nice job, Bob. Go forth and be human. There's no need to be awkward.
Alright, let's talk about customer assistance. So communicate your assistance, be proactive. Passengers should never have to ask for assistance because the driver failed to offer it. Ask questions to ensure passenger comfort. Do you need help? Are you comfortable? Are you warm enough? Greet the passenger at first contact. Talk to the passenger instead of the attendant, and the passenger will refer you to his or her attendant if he or she is having trouble communicating. Give clear directions to ensure everyone is safe, and be patient. Don't take shortcuts. It's not a race, and that's very important. Do not take shortcuts. It is not a race. This is New York City. There's a lot of crazy drivers out there. It's not a race. If somebody cuts you off or anything, just let it go. You might have a passenger, a person who might be blind, or might be deaf, might be paralyzed. You never know what the case is, and it's not fair to endanger their safety, right? So just take your time. Our GPS, our manifest, our app, it calculates traffic time and everything. So even if you drive just the speed limit, you'll still get there in time. All right. Customer assistance. As long as you don't lose sight of your vehicle, you will assist your customer to and from the vehicle. However, you should not enter any any buildings, I'm sorry. You will help the customer go up or down the curb or one step, and you will assist the customer in boarding the vehicle. If the customer has packages, you will carry 2 bags totaling 40 pounds to the outside door of your customer's destination. Any questions?
Customer destination meaning the front of the building or the actual apartment building?
Yeah, so you shouldn't enter any buildings, right? But if they need help to get to the front of their building, you'll help them as long as you don't lose sight of your vehicle, right?
Okay.
So now let's say you parked in front of an apartment building and you still have straight view of your car, then you can take them to like the door but don't enter the building, right? But now let's say you parked on the corner and now you gotta turn the corner to go to the front of there. You can't do that because then you're losing sight. Because as soon as you turn that corner, you lose sight of your car. You know what I mean? Alright. And any packages, you'll carry 2 bags totaling 40 pounds. If it's more than that, you can refuse. Alright? Just call the dispatcher, let them know, hey, this bag is too heavy, it's more than 40 pounds. That's it. Alright? Oh yeah, by the way, behind you we have another dispatcher right here, Lyndon.
I am sorry, I was trying, my boss is calling me out, I was trying to be here quietly. But
he's our
welcome to the team in advance. And in the dispatch office, we're always there to assist you guys, okay?
Door-to-door service. Driver, so this is what I was telling you guys. Driver must assist the customer with their boarding and exiting of the vehicle.
Sir, see you.
Alright, bye-bye, Linda. And exiting of the vehicle and from the vehicle to the front door of the location that the customer is going to and coming from. Assisting mobility device passengers. A person's wheelchair, crutches, walker, cane is part of their personal space. Do not touch it without permission, and when talking to a person who uses a wheelchair, sit or stand at a slight distance so that the conversation feels more natural. Be aware of reach limits. Assisting blind or low vision passengers. When picking up a visually impaired person, exit the vehicle, call out the passenger's name, and identify yourself as accessory. I'm going to say this again because it's so important. When picking up a visually impaired person, exit the vehicle, call out the passenger's name, and identify yourself as accessory. This is called call out and assist. And basically, anytime you're picking up a blind or partially impaired visual person.
How do we know?
You know because on the manifest, it's going to say call out and assist.
Alright.
Whenever you see call out and assist, it means that person is either blind or has low vision. So what you have to do, which is like mandatory, you have to step out of the vehicle and say, hey Patricia, my name is Mike and I'm from Accessoride, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
You have to say it loud enough for them to hear you because they can't see you.
Yeah.
They can't see the license plate on your vehicle, nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why this is mandatory.
We say, excuse me, we say accessoride.
Yeah, say accessoride. Because technically we're contracted with accessoride, so you're going as accessoride. Alright?
Yeah, everyone knows that.
So call out to the person and identify yourself before you make contact. Ask if they want to be guided by following your voice or by holding on to your elbow. Offer your arm, do not take or grab their arm. So never grab their arm, offer your elbow and they'll hold on to it and follow you. Alright? If a passenger has a service animal, you must let the service animal in the vehicle. Do not take the leash, touch or pet the service animal. Give verbal directions to help them fasten their seatbelts. And on arrival, describe the drop-off point so they know where they are. Assisting deaf and hard of hearing passengers. Before speaking to a customer who may be deaf or hard of hearing, make sure you get their attention. Try to stand in front of them and make eye contact as you speak. Speak clearly and do not cover your face or mouth. Never make physical contact without first getting permission from the customer. Right, so when you guys are picking up a person that's hard of seeing or is a little impartially blind, what would you do? So as soon as you step out of the vehicle, what do you do?
Introduce yourself and then send you from access to ride.
Yep, perfect. Alright, and what about when you're assisting a deaf or hard of hearing passenger?
Stand in front of them and make eye contact.
There you go, nice. Assisting non-visible disability passengers. Remember that not every disability is visible. If a person tells you that they have a disability, do not question it or ask the nature of their disability. Never ask anyone to disclose their disability and avoid assuming and treat people like individuals. Right? Assisting people with cognitive disabilities. Common examples of cognitive disabilities are autism, attention deficit, dyslexia, dyscalculia, intellectual and memory loss, among others. This video is going to show you how to communicate, speak clearly, use short sentences, wait for them to understand what you said so they can formulate an answer, look and speak directly at them, and be patient and understanding.
Some people actually use spare self-so and you might need interpreters. Other people they can understand it, but it might take a little bit longer to process, as it does with me.
Braille, like the person is blind, so like in Braille they can read it and like communicate with somebody who's blind by a different way. And somebody who's deaf, sign language is an amazing stand how to work with that person and spell. Don't be patronising.
And I need maybe go beat test if you can, or find in the line that is suitable for them.
You see me there, you see me with me as a person. By talking to them, not missing them, like speaking back to them, spending time with them and getting to know them before they communicate.
Almost it's exactly the same as someone without, it just might take longer to understand things and longer time to explain things to that person. You need to take time to listen to them.
Well, you've got to make time because you're speaking to a person with a learning disability, and you want their views. You've got to go out and there to speak.
Well, for me, it's important that people are clear, really, and that they sort of take the time to sort of make sure that I understand what they're saying, and I could have trouble with that because my hearing's not great, or because they're using a term and phrase I'm not familiar with, or whatever. But at the same time, I don't really want people to speak to me very much differently than they would someone else, because some people, when they find out you're disabled, do get quite condescending, and that's not good.
Listen carefully, ask questions, and be more understanding and protective.
Just take your time, don't rush it, just answer slowly questions, because if you rush a question, they're not going to get it in their head properly in time. It's like but they're not going to get in. They're not going to listen in time to question.
Speaking to the doctors and saying, I can't understand this, can you talk to me more clearly so I can understand it?
Communicate to me like you are my carer. Ask me, what do I want?
People with no disability, they're the best people to train because they are expert and they can train other people with no disability and professionals without no disability how to communicate, listening and attitudes. Like it's no part of that.
Maybe they should be trained upon a disability awareness. So if you examine a person with disability, then you know who you're talking to. Their disability.
Nurses and doctors and give a higher fee to realise we are people, we're not just numbers, we're not just things on paper, we are people.
You see, some people think that people with disabilities cannot communicate, but we all can communicate in our own way.
Everybody with lots of different reading and other way of communication skills. But everybody are different. Like my professional people, one of the people with no disability. I have money or no disability and what best way of communication. If they don't do that, they may know.
So because everybody with disabilities has got different needs, there's different cultures.
If you like to be treated with respect from your friend, then treat the person with disability you're working with or bumping into, treat them with respect as well and talk to them with respect.
It could be better, could be improved.
Welcome to the Accessoride Disability Awareness Training presentation. Our goal is to present a collection of short videos to provide information and education to drivers and carriers from the perspective of people with disabilities who travel via Accessoride. Unlike other driver training videos that include a list of policies laid out by management, these videos are intended to be more personal, first-hand accounts of customers' actual experiences and puts a face to the customer ID number. It also gives customers a chance to talk about their disability and dispel any myths about what people with disabilities can and sometimes cannot do.
This is Ichabod. When I hold on his harness, that's like taking your elbow and you guiding me. His harness is my guide, and he'll take good care of me. He'll let me know when there's steps up, down, but it's up to me now because he won't know when to turn left or right, especially if he's been in a new place. He needs for me to tell him what to do. So if I have a driver or another sighted person, I have to learn which way to go when I get inside, and then I convey it to the dog, hold on to his harness, and I tell him left, right. But if you're assisting, drop the harness, and now you become my guide. And he's off duty, he just walks beside us. most of the trips are always positive for me. On the whole, the drivers are very well trained, but when they have call out and assist, it's important that they call out my name and put my hand on the door so I know where the steps are. Even if I have a guide dog. If I hold on to my dog's harness, my dog will lead me to the door, jump up and pull me on. I have to be ready for that so I don't hurt myself. So if the driver calls out, puts my hand on the door, I go up the steps on my own and then have my dog follow me, and that's safe.
Good morning, I'm Joanna J.J. Jackson, and I've been an Accessoride customer for 5 years. I've had a variety of experiences, but one thing that I really think is important is that the element of sensitivity. Some days I have good days, some days I have bad days. I am disabled, but I'm able. And some days, in addition to not feeling good, I have accessories, I have braces. Some days we make you more mobile than we really are, and that's because we're feeling good. And then on the other hand, there are days that our pain or our discomfort is greater than the day before. But we still have to be able to do what we can do. And Accessoride does provide us that ability to get from place to place. And sensitivity and compassion is really important. I've had some drivers who say, oh, my name is such and such, I'm your driver this morning. And that personal touch, as far as identification, is a blessing. Really it is. It makes me feel good. I'm comfortable because once I've gotten to where I'm going, I know that they've got me there safely. And I appreciate that. Once I board the Accessoride bus, it's nice to know that the driver's concerned about my safety. When he comes to me, I need assistance with the seatbelt. Many times I cannot pull it to lock into the lock, and I need an extra hand. And it's nice that he's able to do that for me. But I'm happy that I have a Bentley, I have my braces, I have a accessory.
Hi, my name is Billy Mitchell. I've been riding Accessoride for several years. I am a single amputee and have been for the last 10 years or so. I ride in a motorized chair sometimes, and I also have a manual chair that I ride. It's always great to ask, do you need the help, or just don't assume that I'm in this chair permanently. Once I get on the bus, I can just hold on to the seat in front of me, and I can easily transfer to the seat. And I can do my own seatbelt, and so I'm ready to ride. Drivers need to be sensitive to the needs of a person who is disabled. I'm always looking out, so you look out for your passengers is always good. Just communicate with your dispatcher, just communicate with your passenger. Just paying attention to detail is critical.
Hi all, my name is Sharda Virupatla. I'm a person who is blind. I've been using Accessoride for over 15 years. When I'm traveling, I use a cane. This is what we call a white cane, that any person who is blind would use this cane, or they will use a guide dog. Even though I am blind, I can see light and dark. When we talk about blind people, there are some blind people who have no vision. There are others who have some vision. Again, you will come across other blind people who actually can see faces, yet they need help. The skills that I'm going to share with you all today are skills that are going to be useful and are important when working with any blind person, any blind customer. If you are able to use these skills, for the most part, you should not have a problem. This is my cane, as I said. This is what helps me to walk on the street. It gives me information as to what I might come across. It also helps me when I'm walking up and down steps. where I need to go up and down. One of the things I would request any driver when they are trying to be helpful to a customer, never to touch the cane. Often drivers don't want to touch the customer, and it's understandable because you don't want to touch anybody without their permission, but they think it's okay to pick up the cane and just start helping them like that. That is the most dangerous thing, because as you see, as I'm walking and you have the cane up there pretending, I have no sense of security. I could fall. As you're doing this, I could go down like this because I have nothing that's guiding me. Another way drivers try to help blind people is by holding the person's arm. I will show you the correct or the safe way that the driver can help a person who's blind. The blind person holds the driver or whoever's helping them above their elbow. The driver or the person who's helping is half a step ahead of the blind person, so that if there is a danger or an obstacle, the person who has vision, the person who can see, can block the danger and go around it instead of worrying about the blind person bumping into something. The best way to help a blind person or any person with disability is, as a driver, absolutely have to come out of the car, come onto the sidewalk, look around, say, this is the accessorized driver, my name is this, my car number is this, and then say, hey, I'm looking for so-and-so, and approach and say, are you so-and-so? For instance, if you're looking for me, after you say, hey, I'm accessorized, car number 342, my name is Muhammad, are you Miss Sharda? Are you here for the pickup?
Right here, and just right in the doors. Just make sure this is your opening right here. Okay. Watch your hand, please. Watch your hand. Come close to it. Thank you.
My name is Elizabeth, and I've been an accessory client for a very long time. I travel back and forth to work. Due to my balance, I went into a wheelchair. When I travel with accessory, I usually transfer to a seat. The driver will approach me and say, how can I help? And I would tell him to come on this side, my right side, because that's my weaker side. He'd hold my arm and help me up out of my wheelchair. I'm parking near the seat that I'm getting into, and he will bump me into the accessorized seat. It's important that they put all four straps down. So I am really afraid that I'm going to go forward when they stop short. So it's very important to me to be very secure, and they put the strap over this way also around my body, so I won't move. Even though I do have a PCA who has a disability, I will still need the help of a driver to help me out of my wheelchair to transfer into a regular seat on a van. Like my balance is very poor, to help me up out of my wheelchair into the seat on accessory. Another helpful suggestion, if you don't understand what I am saying, please let's communicate and listen to what I am saying. I will repeat what you don't understand. Communication is very important. My PCA helps me, even though he does have a disability. Because of my speech impairment, he has a better communication. And the driver will listen to my PCA.
Any questions about the video?
So, what kind of disability do they have? Do you let us know?
So So technically, they don't specify exactly what it is, and we're not allowed to ask them either because it's a personal question.
Yeah.
But you can tell, like, for example, on the manifest, if it says call out and assist, automatically you know that it has to do with visual, something with visual. If I'm not, hold on to that question. When Emmanuel comes, our morning dispatcher, he might be able to answer it because he knows exactly what's on the manifest, so he would be able to answer it. So just hold on to that question, okay?
All right.
He'll be here in like 30 minutes, so just ask him then. Right, but for the most part, like if it's anything that has to do with like eyesight, it lets you know. Alright? The main important one is call out and assist. That's the main one. Alright, accidents. Important accident guidelines. Your main priority is the well-being of your passengers and yourself. If you ever get into an accident, main priority is the well-being of your passengers, that's in your vehicle, and then you. And your second priority is the state of your vehicle. Any type of accident, regardless of severity, must be immediately called into dispatch. As soon as an accident, it doesn't matter if it's a small scratch or if somebody just hit you and ran off or whatever it is, you have to call dispatch. Because later on, if we find out that there was damage to the vehicle and it wasn't reported, that looks bad on you. So just make sure you always report it, even if it's a small scratch, or maybe you drive the same car every day, and you drove the same car yesterday, and when you drove there was no scratches on it, but then the next morning you come back and there's scratches on it. That means that whoever drove it the night before scratched it. So we would assume it's you unless you let us know that, hey, yesterday when I drove, it wasn't there. When I brought the car back, it wasn't there, but it's there now. So that's why we always, every morning when you're picking up the vehicle, in order to get into the app, they ask you to take pictures of the vehicle. So once you do that, we can see all the damages on the vehicle, and then the next person who drives the car is also going to take pictures. So that way we're able to track down any damages done to the vehicle. Alright? Any questions? Alright. Yeah, so information that's needed from the other party that hits your car, or if you hit them, we need their name, we need their address, we need their contact number, insurance company name, and policy number. It's like anytime you guys ever been in an accident, if you guys have, you always exchange information, ID, registration, etc., etc. Right? In case of any police questioning, do not admit fault. State the facts, and give a true and accurate statement without taking any of the blame. Alright? What to do in a non-injury vehicle collision. First, you document, take photos of the videos of the accident, focusing on visible damage, exchange information with involved parties, and take photos of their IDs and insurance cards. And then number 2 would be fill out a form. It's called the MV10 form, and you would fill that out once you come back to the base after. Alright, so yeah. Okay, you are required to remain on the scene and contact the police when any person is injured, killed, a domestic animal is injured or killed, a parked vehicle or any other property is damaged and the owner cannot be located. You assess the status of the passengers and if they're okay or if they're in need of medical assistance. You request, if needed, you call 911 and request for an ambulance and police. Third, you document, take photos, videos of the vehicle, etc. Inform, you state the facts and give an accurate statement to the police without taking any blame, and then you complete that MV10 Right? Making a successful trip. Accessoride, command center sends dispatch the trip manifest, and then the dispatch would schedule and assign the trip to the driver, and then the driver would receive the message on the manifest and then go to the pickup location. So that's how we do it. The waiting time is a minimum of 5 minutes. Remember what I was telling you guys about being late to the next pickup? So that's why the minimum is 5 minutes and the maximum is 7 to 8 minutes. So this is the process, right? I have a pickup, her name is Patricia, and it's in the Bronx. I'm in Queens right now, I'm on the way. The ETA shows 40 minutes, right? once it's been 25 minutes and I'm 15 minutes away from the location, I'm gonna call the customer. I'm gonna call, hey Patricia, my name is Mike and I'm your driver for today, I'm 15 minutes away, right? So you let them know that you're 15 minutes away. So that gives them about 15 minutes to start preparing and start getting ready, right? So by the time you get there, now that you got there, you're gonna call the passenger, hey Patricia, I've arrived to the location, right? Tell them the address, okay, it's correct, perfect, I'm here. Now you're gonna wait 5 minutes. So you called them at 12:45, the pickup time is 1 p.m. You called them at 12:45, I'm 15 minutes away. Now it's 1 o'clock, you got there, you're gonna call them, hey, I've arrived. At 1:05, if they're still not downstairs, you're gonna call your dispatcher, right? You're gonna tell your dispatcher, hey, I got here at 1 o'clock, it's 1:05, she's still not down here, what do I do? Then, depending on your next trip, the dispatcher sees what your next trip is, where it is, how long it's gonna take you, everything, right? Dispatcher is going to tell you, if they see that you have a little extra time to get to the next place, they might say, oh, give her another 2-3 minutes, right? Or what they're going to say is, okay, it's been, usually after 5 minutes, we give them an additional 2-3 minutes. If they still don't come down, then we leave, right? But you need to get the green light to press the cancellation from the dispatcher, right? You can't just wait 5 minutes, oh, she's not here, press cancel and then go. You can't do that. Because that's really bad because it messes up operations, right? So once it's been 5 minutes, you have to call dispatcher, let them know I've been here 5 minutes. They're either going to tell you wait 2 minutes and then leave, or leave right now. But you need to get that okay from the dispatcher, all right? Does that make sense, everyone? Yeah?
I got a question.
Yes.
On average, how many pickups do we have on a day?
On average, I would say, so it depends, right? Now, I have my 2 times of working is 5:45 in the morning to 2 o'clock, right? The second shift starts at 2:45 to either 9 o'clock, which is a 6-hour shift, or till 11 o'clock, which is an 8-hour shift. Now, in the morning, I have 50 drivers. And at night, I have 30 drivers. So in the morning, out of the 50 drivers, let's say 48 showed up, and now we're running on 48 out of 50 drivers. That means that those 2 missing drivers, it's like about 15, 16 trips that's not being fulfilled. So it's going to get dispersed amongst all the 48 drivers, right? So certain drivers might get an extra trip or 2, certain drivers might not. So, but if it's 50 out of 50 drivers available, then I believe it's 7 pickups and 7 drop-offs, right? It can average anywhere from 5 to 8. 8 is like very high. It barely ever happens. Worst case scenario, 8 trips, but on average 5 to 7.
And the pickup and the drop-off is always within the same border, or you
No,
gotta go all the way
it can be
across?
anywhere in the 5 boroughs. It can be anywhere in the 5 boroughs. We don't really go too deep into Long Island. We don't go too deep into Westchester. Staten Island is sometimes there, but mainly I would say I've noticed Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and Bronx. Those are the 4 main. Right?
But either way, whatever amount of trips that we get on a day, we are allotted enough time to pick them up.
Yeah, of course. So the manifest, it takes into account traffic and everything, and it gives you a time. Like, oh, your pickup is at 10 a.m., you have to drop that person off by 11:30 or 11:45, whatever the case is, they give you enough time. And let's say you have a pickup, you have to pick up Patricia, right, from the Bronx, and you have to drop her off in Queens, right? On your way from the Bronx, you might have to go to Manhattan to pick up another passenger who's also going to Queens. You get what I mean? So it's a shared ride, and it could be multiple pickups before a drop-off.
Another thing is, you said that the late shift, or the evening shift, I guess.
Yeah, the 2:45 to either 9 o'clock or 2:45 to 11 o'clock.
What do you mean either? I mean, we get to pick, or you guys get to
No,
pick?
no. So I have 21 shifts that are from 2:45 to 11 o'clock, and I have 9 shifts that are 2:45 to 9 o'clock. So what usually happens is I have some drivers who say, oh, I only want to work 2:45 to 11 o'clock because I need my 40 hours a week. And I have some drivers that say, oh, I'm okay with 6 hours a day, but I need a Saturday or a Sunday because we offer 10-hour shifts on Saturday and Sunday from 6:45 in the morning to 5 o'clock p.m. So that's a 10-hour shift. So what I've noticed is a lot of drivers, they'll work Monday to Friday, 6 hours, they get about 30 hours, and then they pick up a Saturday, they get that 40 hours. And some certain drivers, they like getting that 40 hours every week, and then they get an additional 10 hours overtime.
Nobody does OT.
Yeah, everybody does a little bit of OT. It's optional. So so let's say I hire you to work Monday to Friday, and then you want work Saturday, that 10 hours is going to be your overtime. So our regular pay is $22 an hour, and then if you were to get overtime, it would be $33 an hour.
Gotcha.
All right, makes sense. Maximum you can get is 60 hours. That's if you work Sunday, Monday to Friday, and Saturday. That's all 7 days. I would advise against it because you got to give your body some type of break, right? But I have a few drivers that work 7 days a week, every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Like for example, one month. So for example, 7 days they work, and then the next week they'll work 5 or 6 days. Then I'll give them a 7-day event. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, it's bi-weekly or weekly?
It's weekly. So so a lot of new drivers I've noticed do get a little confused, right? For example, today is Thursday, right? Today you're gonna be getting 5 hours or 6 hours of training pay. This money you're gonna be receiving on August 4th, because this next week. So whatever hours you work this week, you get paid the next week. Does that make sense? So now let's say you finish your drug testing, your background check, and your training today, right? And your results come back, and let's say you start working from Monday, right? Let's say for some reason all the results and everything come back, you start working Monday, July 31st till Friday. For that, you would get paid for that week the following week. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good? Okay, perfect. Yeah.
So when it comes to gas, does it?
Okay, so we pay for gas. We pay for all maintenance. We pay for everything. Your only job is to pick up the vehicle from the base, and then we have a contract with the gas station up the block. So you just go over there. You give them your license plate number for the vehicle you're driving, your name. They're gonna give you a credit of X amount to fill up your gas, and then you go over there. They'll give you a receipt. You sign the receipt. You bring the receipt back at the end of the day.
What kind of cars are we driving?
Where you guys are driving all Toyota Siennas. They're usually 2021 or higher.
Marked?
Huh?
Marked with the accessorized logo?
Yeah, marked with accessorized. They're all TLC vehicles.
Oh, okay.
They're all TLC.
No, it's just that I saw a bunch of cars outside. I thought we were just.
No. So those are like what we rent for like Uber drivers and stuff like that.
I got you.
It's like a regular rental.
Oh, it's
for
a different
taxi.
different,
Yeah.
different
But we're doing MTA, so we only have wave vehicles that are Toyota Siennas.
White and blue, right? White and blue is the color.
No. So we have black vehicles. Okay. Yeah, they're mainly all black. We might have one white one. I'm not sure, but everything is black. Alright, and they all have accessorized, and you'll notice later on when Emmanuel brings one of the cars that it has like 4 numbers, so it's like a 4920. That's the vehicle, or 5291. Yeah.
So my question is like, let's say I work this week from Monday to Friday, and then next week I just want to work Saturday, like Monday to Saturday, and I don't want to work Sunday. Do I let them know like?
Yeah, so you would contact me, and I'll put that into the schedule for you. So wait, what do you mean? So like for example.
So like if I don't want like a consistent days for Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, that's fine. So Saturdays and Sundays is fully optional. It's extras, so it's not part of your assigned schedule. Like I would assign you a Monday to Friday schedule, right? Saturday, Sunday is optional and it's additional. So like let's say you got your 40 hours, you want some extra money, you want to make some extra money, you could pick a Saturday or a Sunday, get that extra 10 hours.
So what if I don't do 40 hours
during the week?
Yeah.
So what do you mean? Like you want to work Monday to Thursday or something?
No, Monday to Friday.
Well, let's say you miss a day or something.
Do I actually make the 40 hours Monday to Friday?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, actually, so 40 hours minus the 30 minutes every day, that's about, 2.5 hours? So you end up with 37.5 if I'm not mistaken. They take out 30 minutes every day. So Certain days, let's say you start your day at 5:45 and you finish, let's say you get back by 2:30, right? You'll get that 48 hours, even with that 30 minutes because you came back a little later. Instead of coming back at 2, you came back at 2:30. That 30 minutes is basically covering your lunch.
So it's fine if I do like 37 hours Monday to Friday. I don't have to make like the extra.
No. Because that's being taken off. You're hitting your 40 hours, but that lunch is being taken out, which is why you're not being able to get to that 40 hours. Usually, most drivers, they get to the 40 hours. Somehow they get it, like, some days are tougher than others. Maybe they get back a little later, or whatever the case is. Most of them usually make the 40 hours, and even if they don't, they make it because they pick up a Saturday, and then they end up with like 46 hours or 47 hours or whatever it is.
Okay.
Alright?
So after 40 hours
It's overtime. Yeah. Anything after 40 hours is considered overtime. Right?
One last thing, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, let's say that you're scheduled to work 2:45 to 9 p.m., right? But, coming back, a lot of traffic, blah, blah, blah. So rather than getting here at 9, you're here at 9:30. Do I still get paid for that?
Yeah. As long as you had a pickup and a drop-off, and that's why you were late, you'll get paid.
Okay.
Now, what I've noticed with a driver from before, I'm not gonna say a name or anything, but it's a scenario, right? There was a driver who the shift ended at 11 o'clock, right? He got back at 11:55. So when I went through the cameras, I found out that he had his last drop off at 10:30. It was a 30-minute drive. He was supposed to get back by 11. But what he ended up doing was he went home, came out 30 minutes later, and then he went to, I think, a McDonald's or something, grabbed himself food, and then came back to the base, and that's why he came back so late, which is not allowed. Because if you want to go to McDonald's or anything, most of the time, like, we pay you till 11 o'clock, right? A lot of the drivers, they get back at 10 o'clock. That 1 hour, you can do whatever you want. You can go get food, do whatever you want, right? And you'll get paid till 11. But now if it's already 11 and you're going to do your own errands, we don't allow that.
Now, the downtime between pickups, we're supposed to be at the car?
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you do decide to park and go get some food or a drink or whatever, that's on you. If you need to use the bathroom, you can go do that. But be careful with that because most places in Manhattan are like not good parking spots. A lot of people get tickets.
Oh no.
So just be careful with that. That's all.
I got a question. Is it possible for like you know how the car, the van when we get it, when we bring it back, right? Can I park my car at where the car is, and then when I return,
Yeah, so I'm gonna get there, right? In our base, we have about 10 parking spots.
Okay.
But it's first come, first serve.
First come, first serve.
First come. So let's say my shift starts at 5:45. By 5:35, it's already full. Because I have 50 drivers coming in.
Right.
30 of them drive a car. You know what I mean? Out of that 30, 10 of them got the parking spots. The other 20 have to look for parking.
And there's no parking around here at all? Because I live in the Bronx.
Yeah, so in the morning, it's a little easier, I would say, because it's like 5:30 in the morning. Most people left for work or something, or they're leaving, and they have a few open spots, right? In the afternoon, it's a little harder, I would say, but it's still possible.
Where is the base? I'm sorry.
The base is 31 48th Avenue. It's about 10 minutes from here.
Oh, here in Queens.
Yeah, it's in Queens. It's by Van Damme.
And there's trains, because I don't know much about Queens.
Yeah, there's trains. There's the 7 line. I'm not sure what other lines there are. There's a few.
Yeah, because that happened to me today. I can't find parking anywhere.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
It's probably like 5 blocks away.
Yeah, 5 blocks away. Yeah. My first time coming to this location, I had to park 5 blocks away.
On that note,
let's 31 was it? What was it?
31 48th Avenue. It's right by Van Damme Street at 48th Avenue.
I left it on a 2-hour meter. My car, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, 11:45, right?
When I go, I'm gonna do another 2 hours because I'm not gonna find parking. I'm gonna spend more time looking for parking.
Yeah.
So can I do that?
Why did you download the thing on the phone?
The Park NYC. Park NYC. If you download it on your phone, you can just pay it through your phone instead of going. Like you can just keep renewing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a new one for me. I never paid for parking.
Gotcha. Okay, so we already spoke about call out and assist. Let's speak about this. Yeah, so the driver assists customer in boarding into the vehicle, and then after you help the customer get in, you request to see the passenger's accessorized ID card. Once you see the ID card, you can collect the standard NYCT fare, which I told you $275, and then you will start the trip. Right? Oh yeah, by the way, you guys are all going to be using your own personal phones for the job, but we reimburse you $60 a month. Alright? Towards your phone bill. Sounds good?
Nice.
Yeah.
Payment collection, verify from the trip manifest. Okay, yeah, so verify from the trip manifest the total amount of fare. On the manifest, it'll tell you if it's $275, $575. I believe there's something called the fare, which is like a discounted rate for certain passengers, and they pay like $135 or something like that. But everything is written on the manifest. So once you take a look at the manifest, it'll tell you whatever amount.
And the money's for the base, right?
Yeah, so the money, they're gonna be giving you cash or coins and stuff. You count it real quick, throw it in an envelope, or in every Toyota Sienna to your left, there's like this little compartment. You could just throw the money in there.
Right.
Once you're done with all your trips and you come back, you can just open that up, count everything, throw it in an envelope, and give it to the dispatcher.
Okay.
Alright? Yeah.
What is it? Is there tips in this thing?
So tips, it's a little, I've heard customers giving the drivers a tip. It's not ideal to take it, but if you take it, you take it, you know?
What do you mean? Does that mean it's okay or not?
Yeah, like it's okay, but there's no proper procedure in place for you to take it or not take it. It's just, I've heard of drivers getting tips before.
For the so you wouldn't get punished, right? Because it said that it was being videoed and recorded. So for me taking the tip on camera, I wouldn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the thing. You just can't take any of the fare money, right?
Okay.
So as long as let's say the fare was $5.50 and they gave you that $5.50, and then like at the end of the trip, if they offered you like an extra $1 or $2, whatever, that's on you. You know, take that, whatever. Yeah.
Are we gonna have like points, like change?
Yeah, they might. You guys are not expected to have change for the passengers. So if the passenger has a $2.75 fare and they give you a $20 bill, it just means that they're not trying to pay because they know you don't have change. All right.
Oh, we can use our own money.
No. Do not use your own money because
so they gotta have exact change all the time.
They need to have the exact change. All right. If they try to give you a $20 bill or something, you can refuse it.
And what do I do with the passenger? What do you do?
Drop them off, but you need to note it down that this passenger tried to give you a $20 bill, whatever it is, let dispatch know. Alright?
So do we take them to their destination even though they didn't pay?
So no matter what happens, we take them to their destination.
Okay.
Whether they show us that accessorized ID card, whether they give us the full fare, we're not allowed to say no, you know? We have to take them, but later on we'll figure out a way to deal with the whole situation. Alright? If there is a change in ridership, collect only the customer's portion of the stated fare, then immediately notify the dispatcher. Someone will then notify NYCT PM so that its records may be updated for invoicing purposes. Alright, this is what the voucher is going to look like if they try to give you a transit check. Right here, this is what it's going to look like. Yeah, right here. No, it's good for one ride. It looks like this. And they'll try to use that in lieu of cash.
It's a paper.
It's like a paper voucher.
Paper voucher. Okay. None of them have digital vouchers, right?
Which one?
The passengers, they don't have digital vouchers or anything.
No.
They all have.
It's all like paper.
Okay.
And it says like the effective date and everything. So if it says an older date, that means that they're trying to reuse the older one. You know, so always check for when it's good. So. Care communication, contact, ask, respond, emphasize. Contact, upon arrival at the pick location, make all efforts to locate the customer. Do not assume the customer can see you or the vehicle or that they can walk or roll to the vehicle on their own. Greet a customer with a smile, say their name and introduce yourself. Apologize for any delays with both pickup and arrival. Offer your arm, never grab the customer's hand, arm, cane, or leash of service dog. Offer to carry the customer's bags and guide the customer with words when entering or exiting the vehicle.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Is it designated on places for drop off or can I double park? to drop them off?
What do you mean?
Is it a designated spot for me to drop off the customer?
Yeah, so
Or is
like
it-
you would go to the address and you would like find the nearest parking spot. So like double parking, if there's no space at all, you have to double park it is what it is, right? But try not to. If you have like actual parking spot, do it because one of my drivers actually recently got into a small accident. Another car backed into her while leaving the driveway. And when I went through the footage, I noticed that she had a lot of space, right, to pull in. So if she wanted, she could have like parked up correctly and then picked up the passenger. But what she decided to do was she just pulled into the spot and she was blocking like half the road and half into the parking spot, like kind of double parked. And where she was right where the woman was leaving the driveway. So in order to reverse out, she ended up hitting her. But that could have been avoided if she parked regularly.
I'm gonna run back.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
That's right.
Say you're dropping off Manhattan.
Yeah,
The
it's
only
very
location is the bus stop.
Yep. So
Did you
any
get a ticket or
so
you-
accessorized bus stops, right? There's actual accessorized bus stops now. Those places you could pull over there and pick up or drop off. It's not a problem. Sometimes sometimes traffic cops do give tickets for that. If they do bring it to us, we'll take care of it. The only time we don't take most of the tickets is on you guys, like anything that has to do with speed cameras, red lights, any traffic violations or anything, that's on you guys because you guys made the choice to hit that red or whatever it is. But anything where that has to do with like picking up a passenger or something, always look for like a regular spot. If it's emergency and you're crunching on time, it is what it is, you know? Just don't ever leave your vehicle unattended.
In that case,
Yeah.
can you say a customer doesn't want to be dropped off where you feel it's the most convenient for you as a driver, so then I get a ticket and they want the bus stop to be dropped off right there because it's easy for them.
Yeah.
Well, you can't debate the customer at that point, can you?
So that's also a question you're gonna have to ask Emmanuel.
Right.
Alright, so he'll be here in a couple minutes. He actually knows the ins and outs of dispatching and stuff, so he'll be able to answer that, right? Let's see. Ask the customer if they need assistance with seatbelt, temperature of the vehicle. Ask if assistance is needed if you observe any signs of distress during the trip, such as the customer's coughing, gasping, sighing, groaning, slumping over in or slipping out of the seat. Ask the customer to confirm securements if applicable, but always follow established guidelines. Respond professionally. Conversation should be pleasant and professional. Avoid discussions of personal nature. Don't share frustrations about your day or the job. Be respectful to suggestions from the customer regarding routes. Be respectful to suggestions from the customer regarding routes. A customer is always going to feel like they know better than you. They're going to feel like they know the roads better than you. They're going to be like, oh, take this way, take that way. Your response should be, I'm instructed to only follow the manifest and my GPS. That's it.
Oh, so the manifest have its own GPS?
Yeah, like it's going to connect you to Waze or Google Maps or whatever it is, right? But you have to follow a map. Like, you can't just make a different turn just because you think it's going to be faster. Or else, you know, you might have like two different passengers in your car. One is going to Queens, one is going to Manhattan. The one that's going to Queens got in the vehicle first, but the one that you picked up second, her drop-off is first. And now that first passenger might feel some type of way. She's going to be like, hey, make this turn, go this way, drop me off first.
Okay.
Be respectful, acknowledge what they're saying, but don't like follow it. Be like, hey, I have strict instructions, I can't risk my job for this, you know? Like, I have strict instructions to follow the GPS.
Yeah. So there will be time where we're gonna have two passengers.
Yeah,
different.
So accessoride is shared, right?
Oh.
So there's always going to be different types of passengers, and they're going to different destinations. All right, and sometimes it does get confrontational. If it ever becomes a point where they're being rude to you, or they're like screaming at you, cursing you out, or anything, just don't like fight back, don't argue back or anything. Try to keep a cool head. If it's getting to a point where you can't control it, take out your key, step out the vehicle, and call your dispatcher. Don't leave the key in there, because what if they drive off? And then you're stranded. What you gonna do?
Does every access ride vehicle have partition?
What do you mean partition? Like between the back and the front?
Yeah, like a dividing between.
No, I don't think so.
Because based on the picture, I was wondering. That's a picture of the changing.
Oh, when the change.
Yeah, right there.
This?
Mhm.
So this, I believe, is more of a yellow cab or something. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm pretty sure the yellow cabs, they have the partitions and stuff. So our accessorized vehicles, they don't have that.
Is it okay to drive in silence?
Driving what?
Drive in silence. Do I have to like communicate with like as in like hold a conversation with the customer?
So, I
Okay, drive in
mean,
silence.
basic like courtesy.
Yeah,
Or,
I
hey, how
understand
you
that,
doing? How you
I
feeling
understand that
today?
part,
You know,
yeah.
just be nice. These are disabled people.
Yeah.
They have a rough life.
Mhm.
It's hard enough. They expect like respectfulness and kindness from our drivers, and we should offer that because there's nothing wrong with making their day, right?
Okay.
You know, so yeah. But you don't have to like hold a conversation. Just make sure like if they do ask you a question, just respond.
Because
to
I
it.
don't want to say anything like something that I might think is appropriate.
Yeah, exactly. But they might think it's inappropriate. Yeah. So always make sure it's professional. Don't talk on a personal level. Don't talk about anything religion-based, nothing political.
Yeah.
You know, don't talk about disabilities or anything. You know what I mean? Just keep it professional. All right. Hey, how are you doing? Where do you have to go? Are you feeling okay back there? You know, just be respectful.
Okay.
Upon arrival at the pick location, make all efforts to locate customer. Greet the customer with a smile, say their name, introduce yourself, apologize for any delays with both pickup and arrival. Offer your arm number, always have to guide the customer with the words when entering or exiting the vehicle.
So the question is, what if they give us $20 bill?
Say, hey, unfortunately, I can't accept that.
So you don't accept this money, and what will you do?
The $275.
Yeah.
So every morning you're gonna get a piece of paper that's gonna have boxes for you to write the passenger's name, your first pickup, the passenger's name, how much they gave, like how much were expected to pick up and how much they actually gave. So, like for example, Patricia tried to give you a $20 bill, right?
Yeah.
So you can easily put, hey, Patricia supposed to give me $275, but she offered me $20 bill. That's it. You know what I mean? That way, when the dispatchers get it, they'll see everything. They'll see which passenger gave you how much, which passenger refused to give you money, you know, stuff like that.
And you refuse this
Yeah,
bill,
you can say, no, I cannot take that $20 bill, you're supposed to have the exact fare.
Yeah.
Right? And then if they don't, just call your dispatcher, let them know.
Alright.
You know, like, let's say you drop them off, let them know, hey.
What if they say you can take this $20 bill?
Like they're not expecting any.
Yeah.
Like they're not expecting their change back.
What if?
So that's like a once in a blue moon scenario. Most people, they want their money. You know what I mean? Nobody like has $20 and their fare is only $275 and they don't want the rest of the $70.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you ever do come across a situation like that, then take it. You know, but make sure like that they gave you the permission to take that money and not expect anything back.
Alright.
You know, because what if they say, yeah, you can keep the 20. Now you think they said they can keep the 20, but they got out of the car and they called Accessoride. Hey, the driver took my $20 and didn't give me my money back. What are you gonna do?
We
have the camera. We have the camera. We record everything. So exactly, we're gonna see all of that. We're gonna hear all of that.
Is it just a camera and sound record?
Yeah, so it's sound record up to a certain time. So like I believe like after a month or two we can't get the sound anymore. But like.
So it's basically like for training.
What
the sound?
No, like the sound. We can get the sound. It just needs to be like small interviews. Like if we try to get sound on a 10-minute video, it's not gonna work. If we try to get sound on a 1 or 2 minute video, it's gonna work. You know, so we'll still be able to hear all the audio, if that's what your question is. We're able to hear all the audio and we're able to see everything.
Oh, I was also gonna ask because I used to work for Amazon and we used to have like cameras in the van. Are those cameras like like you have to stop like in a certain distance from like the stop sign and
So it captures all of that. Like let's say if you don't make a stop on a stop sign and you do like a rolling stop where you don't really stop, you just roll slowly, it's gonna capture that. Or if you're following the car too much, it's gonna capture the distance. You know what I mean?
Do we get in trouble for that?
No, so you don't get in trouble for that. I'll tell you what you can get in trouble for. You can get in trouble for blocking the camera. You can get in trouble for not wearing a seatbelt. You can get in trouble for, maybe saying something inappropriate to a passenger. That's about it. It's not really much you can get in trouble for, but it's more. So we hold the cameras basically to ensure your safety, ensure the vehicle safety, and ensure passenger safety. Because let's say a passenger was in your car, and they get out of the car, they call Accessora, and they say, "Hey, I was injured leaving the vehicle," and the driver did not help me. We can go back to that video and see that you did step out of your car, you did open the door for them, you did help them out, and they never fell. So we can automatically say, "Oh, this passenger is lying." Whereas if we didn't have a car, it would be a he said, she said, and the accessory would probably take their customer's word for it. So this camera is there for everybody's safety. All right.
Can you watch this camera online, or you should take the USB and watch it?
Wait, I'm sorry?
I mean, can you watch the cameras online from here, from the office, or you can watch it after you take this?
I think it's to a computer directly.
It's directly linked with the computer that only me and the project manager can see.
Alright.
So the dispatcher is not gonna see the computer?
No, dispatchers don't really see the cameras. It's mostly me and the PM. Alright? The dispatchers see it like on a very need to know, like if it's an emergency and me and Shah is not available, then I might send one of the dispatchers to check it out. But most of the time it'll be either me or Shah looking at the cameras. Alright? Inappropriate communication. Drivers should not start or participate in conversation regarding politics, religion, or anything sexual in nature. Drivers should not make comments regarding the passenger's appearance, not even a compliment. Harassing a passenger or refusing service because of their gender, race, color, religion, age, national origin, or disability is a violation of DOT and TLC regulations and can result in loss of license and or criminal charges. Drivers should never touch or address a passenger in a sexually suggestive manner. There is no such thing as consensual. Any inappropriate or sexually suggestive behavior or conduct is a violation of DOT and TLC regulation and can result in loss of license and or criminal charges. Right, safe driving. Make sure your vehicle is in a safe. Before we continue, does everybody have their DMV license, TLC license, and a copy of their social security?
Copy of my physical.
You have your physical? A physical is fine. We're gonna make a copy. Lorraine?
You already did.
Yeah, I should have yours on file.
Yeah.
Who's ready?
Just grab all of them at once.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going. Has it already?
Thank you.
You're missing.
Just in time.
Yes. TLC driver's license and social, right?
And an ID from New York State or wherever state. And your social card. Thank you.
Alright, so before you drive, make sure the car is in a good condition. Make sure the followings are clean and not broken. Windows, mirror, turn signal, headlights, tail lights, brake lights. Make sure the following are disinfected. Operator area, steering wheel, armrest, grab rails, equipment such as AVLM, rear view mirrors, and seatbelt buckle, etc. Passenger area surfaces handled by customers such as grab handles, vertical and horizontal stanchions, seat, armrests, etc. Make sure the following are working properly: heat, AC, GPS. Alright, driving hazards. Texting, watching videos, and talking on the phone is completely prohibited during the ride. Please don't text, watch videos, or talk on the phone. It's very distractive. A passenger might be in the car and you might be talking on the phone and they will not feel safe. Alright, they'll call Accessora and the Accessora is going to call us and probably ask us to take you guys off the road because it's not safe.
Is the radio okay?
Huh?
Playing the radio.
Radio? Yeah, radio is fine. You guys can listen to music. Make sure it's not too loud. If the passenger is asked to take it down a little, please listen.
Can we put it like on the earphone?
So AirPods is a very tricky thing because I've heard of TLC police actually pulling people over, even regular police. I've heard them pulling people over for AirPods because they feel like you're talking on the phone or something. But I've also seen drivers pull it off without getting pulled over, so I don't know if you want to take that risk.
Generally, it's not allowed.
It's not allowed, right? Yeah, exactly. So try to avoid it if possible, alright? Some driving hazards that should be avoided if possible include distracted driving, eating, talking, speeding, aggressive driving. Those two I'm very big on. Please do not speed. It's not safe. These are very heavy vehicles. They have a ramp in the back attached to it. Makes the car very heavy in the back. If you speed, you're going to hear a lot of noise banging in the back. That's the ramp just going up and down. Yeah, it's very, very heavy, so please don't speed. It's probably going to break the car. You know, if you have, this New York City, a lot of potholes and stuff. If you hit potholes hard enough, the ramp might just come off. You never know. Aggressive driving. Told you guys this New York City. Everybody drives crazy. If somebody's, you know, trying to flash you or trying to race you or something, don't do it. Just let them go. Drowsy driving. Please, guys, if you guys are feeling tired, do not continue driving. Pull over somewhere. Call dispatch. Let them know, hey, I'm not feeling like too good. I'm feeling sleepy. I need to take a small break. Whatever it is, your health is more important. We cannot risk you driving and falling asleep and then getting into a bad accident, alright? It's not worth it. That extra 5 minutes is, you know, it's not that bad, right? I had this I had this driver once. He was pretty young, maybe in his early 20s. He was driving in the mornings with us and then he was going to school in the night. And what happened was he was trying to work 6-7 days a week.
Wow.
So one morning, he had a passenger in the car, and he just started getting drowsy. He continued driving instead of pulling over, and next thing you know, he crashed into a Mercedes-Benz. And he flew all over the car, the passenger flew all over, and it was very bad. And that's why I emphasize on drowsy driving. Just pull over, call dispatch, let them know. They'll give you extra 5-10 minutes, but they'll maybe move the trip off of you and give it to somebody else just so you guys can get that rest, because your health is more important, alright? Severe weather, it can start raining or something, just drive carefully, drive slow, follow all the traffic signs. There's a lot of unexpected road conditions, etc. Defensive driving basics: be always alert for pedestrians, not just in crosswalks. Stay alert to changes in traffic, weather, road conditions, look well ahead, recognize potential hazards and plan avoidance, reduce your speed in adverse road and or weather conditions. Visibility: keep the windshield and mirrors clean and clear, constantly scan traffic to the front and side mirrors, look ahead, pay attention to tail lights, be mindful of driveways and parking lot entrances, exits. Use mirrors before changing speed or position in traffic. Signal all turns and lane changes. Keep signal on until the move is completed. Do not engage in or respond to aggressive driving behavior. Intersection safety: at unmarked intersections or intersections that are not clearly marked, stop. Don't assume you have the right of way. When in doubt, stop. When approaching a stop sign controlled intersection, stop 2 times. First, you stop at the stop sign line, and then you would stop after easing forward to a point where you can see the ongoing traffic. Look to your left or right. There's no cars coming. Start moving. So at a stop sign, stop twice. First there, then you look, and then you keep going. All right? Wheelchair securement. So this is wheelchair, and then we'll talk about auto fleet. Before that, let's complete our sexual harassment, and then we'll move on from there. Alright, so this is gonna be about 45 minutes long. So if anybody wants to use the bathroom or anything, this is your chance. Because sexual harassment, we can't pause and we can't stop. Alright? For 45 minutes.
Can I go like get coffee or something?
You want coffee or something? Yeah, sure. Yeah, so guys, let's take a 10-minute break. Alright. Take a 10-minute break. Should be good.
One quick question. Once you get a shift, that's the one that you're going to stay for the whole week?
Yeah, so not for the whole week. So let me just tell you guys, the first week of driving, it's going to be mostly standby shifts, and it's going to be picking up random shifts for the first week. And then after you complete the first week, you get full schedule. Like either all morning or all night, but you get a full 5 days.
What do you mean random?
So the first week, right, it's mostly standby shifts.
Let's say if somebody finish early and then somebody doing like is gonna be late for like one of their pickups.
That would be at the dispatcher's discretion, right? So Lyndon can probably tell you a little more about that.
Welcome on board again. And you asked a very important question. First of all, your schedule when you want to work. As a reminder from the dispatcher, strictly Argo. If you're running late, you have to let us know that you're coming.
No.
I'm saying, I'm giving you the information. Saying that we're here to help you. We are constantly in contact with Argo. Okay? Constantly in contact with Argo. We don't do anything at all without Argo's permission. All right? We don't schedule rides. We don't give you time to work. It all comes from Argo. Now, once you hit what is called the work list, you then turn it over to us. I get a list every morning that knows who's supposed to work. You show up in front of me and you're not on the list, you don't get a key. You can decide, I don't know if you're going to put me to work. I may not. If you show up and you're not on the list, I have no authorization to give you allowance. I may tell you to stand by and see what I can do. But there's only one way I will put you to work that you will not see. Immediately, I'll go in the office and ask him for permission. Can I put you to work? You will not see the conversation. Oh, this is my supervisor, by the way. Man, I'm just here because... So basically, we are here to help you at all times. That's the lead dispatcher, also training, and technically my boss. Just walk over there. When you report to base, if you work in the morning, you will see him. When he is in the company, I step down and he's in charge. When he's not around, you will see me in charge. I will never overstep my bounds. So anytime you see him around, I will not tell you what to do. But when he's not around, I will tell you what to do. And if you don't follow my instructions, there's another guy you're going to meet. I will report to him exactly your refusal to follow company procedures. I will not shy away from it because you all know we are parents. And one sibling always telling the other. It's not such a... Just you have to tell mommy and daddy what's wrong in the house. Same thing as the company. The boss is like mommy and daddy's a reference. I'm obligated to tell my managers exactly what's going on. It is nothing personal. Because if I don't, I'm subject to be written up and fired just like you. But we try to work as a team. You gonna run when you get on the road? Because as you see, I have a TLT license. So anything you can tell me, you're going to passengers, happened to me. Spit on, threatened. Been through it. So nothing you will call and tell me I don't know about. But guess what? When you're telling me something's up on the road, I will know whether you're telling the truth or not. And then you'll be watching your app. And you just took a passenger yesterday. And the passenger insulted you, gave you a hard time. And because says, I will move that passenger because your safety is always important to us. You got me? So if a passenger is giving any of you a hard time, and you feel unsafe, the dispatcher will take care of you. Okay? Now I'm taking up too much time here. For the boss tell me I'm not supposed to be here.
Alright guys, let's get started with sexual harassment.
This training has audio, including a narrator and voiceover actors. You can view the narration script by selecting the closed caption button on the navigation bar at the bottom of the screen. You will be unable to go to the next slide in the training until the narration for the current slide finishes. Timing. This training will take approximately 45 minutes. You can go back one slide by selecting the back button on the navigation bar. To continue, select the arrow button in the lower right corner of the screen. When you are ready, please select the arrow button to continue. Important. You cannot stop the training. You cannot save your progress. Do not refresh your browser. You will get a certificate of completion at the end. There will be no other way to confirm completion of the training. Your employer is responsible for collecting your certification. This presentation is called Confronting Sexual Harassment: Tools and Strategies to Create a Harassment-Free Workplace. Legal note. This is a legal training, but this training is not legal advice. Please speak to a lawyer, an anti-discrimination agency, or an advocacy organization to learn more about your rights. There are resources available on the website. For additional information, most stories are based on real cases of sexual harassment. Information about the cases and statistics in this training are available on the website. Content note. This training will include information about harassment and assault.
The following is a collaboration between the New York City Commission on Human Rights and Moving Forward, with scenes from The Assistant, a movie that depicts sexual harassment and gender discrimination in the workplace.
Can you guys hear?
Hey, listen, you're relatively new to the company.
I mean, I've been working here for nearly 2 months.
of stress. Entry-level jobs in this industry are tough, right? Long hours?
Yeah.
First one in, last one out.
Well, yeah.
I bet you haven't seen your friends in a while.
This is my dad's birthday.
Where do you go to college? Great school.
Okay, let me use
Great school. You're smart. You have to be smart to get into Northwest with a 3.8 GPA. And you're on a fast track. What's your plan?
Sorry?
Where do you want to be in 5 to 10 years?
Oh, I want to praise.
You do? Okay, that's excellent. We could use more women producers.
Yeah, but,
It's a tough job, but
Yeah, somebody.
I can see that you got what it takes.
No, the last one.
Thanks.
So why are you in here trying to throw it away?
It's not the right one.
It's illegal for a workplace manager, supervisor, or person in power to threaten you, your job security, and your safety. It's illegal to retaliate against anyone reporting misconduct.
Do you know how many people work at this company? I have to make sure all of them are taken care of. And you know how many people want to work here? I've got 400 resumes teed up for your position alone. Ivy League grads, 4.0 GPAs. And here you are sitting in my office, stressed out, jealous of some new assistant who's getting more attention than you.
I'm not jealous. I was worried for this girl.
She's a woman. She's a grown woman.
Sorry, yes.
You think a grown woman can't make her own choices?
I never said that.
Because she's a waitress?
Nope, I
What
didn't say
then?
that.
What then? Listen, honestly, what do you want from me? Tell me what you want me to do here. Do you want to keep working here?
If you report an incident of harassment or discrimination, you are protected from retaliation. Your employer is required by law to take your claim seriously, investigate, and prohibited from intimidating you or dismissing you for reporting it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Don't forget your scarf.
Thank you.
I don't think you have anything to worry about. You're not as tight.
This is workplace harassment, and it is illegal. In New York City, you have the right to be free from harassment and discrimination based on gender, race, religion, disability, sexual orientation, national origin, and many other protected categories. Reporting sexual harassment protects everyone. If you experience discrimination or harassment, call the New York City Commission on Human Rights at 212-416-0197 or visit nyc.gov/humanrights.
You have the right to a harassment-free workplace. Your rights. In New York City, you cannot be discriminated against in the workplace because of your age, color, disability, gender, immigration status, national origin, pregnancy, race, religion, and sexual orientation, among other protections. This training focuses on gender and sexual harassment. You can learn more about your rights by visiting nyc.gov/humanrights. Agenda. At the end of this training, you will know how to answer these questions. What is sexual harassment? What are my rights? What must an employer do? What do I do if I see harassment? And how How do I file a complaint? What is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment is a form of gender discrimination. Gender discrimination is when a person is treated less well because of their gender. What is gender?
Now, you will watch a video about gender. The video is audio described for people who are blind or have low vision. In a classroom, 2 people present.
We're going to take 2 minutes to talk about gender.
Oh, this has nothing to do with me. Well, actually, gender does have to do with you.
Not to me.
Hold on. Everyone has a relationship with gender.
Whether you've thought about gender a little or a lot, it has impacted you. How you are named, what clothes you wear, expectations about what jobs you can do, and you get the point. Yep, every single person watching this video has been taught about gender from the very beginning, from birth.
We like to define people, right? So when people are born, society defines them by looking at their reproductive organs and labels them male or female.
It's a girl! Well, actually, it's more complicated than that.
Gender can be broken down into gender expression or gender identity. Let's look at some gender identities.
I'm Sophie, and I'm cisgender. The majority of people in our world identify as cisgender, sometimes without us even knowing it. Cis means I identify with the gender I was assigned at birth. When I was born, the doctor said,
"It's a girl."
And I still identify as a woman today.
Hi, I'm Tamara. I'm also a woman. So when I was a baby...
Man holds a blue blanket.
It's a boy.
Tamara pulls away the blanket, revealing a pink one.
No. I'm a trans woman. I identify as a woman, even though when I was born, I was assigned something different.
A man who is deaf signs.
I'm Garrett. I'm a cisgender man. When I was born, everyone said...
People throw blue balloons.
And today, I identify as a man.
Hi, I'm Bailey.
People surround Bailey with pink.
And I'm also a man, even though I was assigned female at birth.
People tear away pink to reveal blue.
I'm a trans man. Hi, I'm C.
Hi, I'm Lindsay, and we're non-binary.
For me, that means I don't identify as either a woman or a man.
C and Lindsay are handed multicolored balloons.
And for me, that means I don't identify with the gender at all.
Lindsay tosses balloons.
Okay, but I'm confused. I mean, what about gender and sexuality?
Oh, I know. Sexuality is about who you're attracted to.
Yes.
So are you gay?
No. Gender and sexuality are both part of our identities, but they're completely different categories.
So don't assume someone's sexuality based on their gender.
Now let's dive into gender expression. Let me ask you something. If you're a cis man, do you need a plaid shirt, bulging muscles, to have no room for tears, to love sports?
Man is thrown a football.
No.
Man misses football.
This might work for some and not others. Why? Because there's no one way to express masculinity or femininity. That's for you to decide.
Everyone's allowed to have their own relationship to gender.
But there are different things that may affect how the world views your gender.
Or how you choose to express it. For example, makeup. Do you wear it? How do you wear it? How colorful do you make it?
Hair, is it short? Is it long? More natural? Braided? Did you shave it all off? Clothes, do you wear skirts, pants, both? Do you accessorize?
Body language. How do you walk? How do you sit?
A person signs.
All of these things can be expressions of gender.
You might express your gender differently at different points in your life.
For example, do you dress differently than you did as a middle schooler?
Photo of a middle schooler in a yearbook.
Thankfully, gender expression can evolve as you grow as a person.
Bottom line, you understand your identity better than anyone else.
No matter how you identify, you deserve to be believed and respected.
Gender includes gender identity and gender expression. Your gender may not be the same as your sex assigned at birth.
Hey, has everybody received the email from ADP?
Yeah.
Everybody got it?
I got it.
Alright. Everybody should have received it. Let me know if you have it.
I don't have it.
You didn't get it?
Yeah, me either.
You didn't get it?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see your email?
Let's review. Sophie was assigned female at birth and today identifies as a woman. This person most likely identifies as cisgender, transgender, or non-binary.
I did receive it, but I had to search it. What do you mean? Yes, this is the one, 1125. Yeah, right. Okay.
Sign up now?
Yeah, sign up now.
All right.
Everybody received the except for you?
No, I haven't.
You haven't received them? Go to inbox.
Maybe in spam. I doubt it though.
Looks like you deleted it.
I have another email.
Oh, okay. But this is the email you gave us, right? Champion@hotmail.com.
Hotmail.com.
And you didn't get it?
Yes.
Did they take the view because I used to have one?
Could be, but give me 1 second, let me just.
Yeah, I also have an ADP.
You also have one?
Yeah, from another job.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna give you two a phone number. You guys need to call them and they're gonna help you register. The phone number is 844-448-0325. That's the ADP's phone number. If you haven't received the email,
It says 0325.
Yeah, 844-448-0325. Okay.
Do you have to upload the application?
Yeah, whatever they're asking, upload it, and then you're gonna try to sign on like on the software, on like on the browser to complete onboarding for your I-9. So let me know once you've made a username and password, and then let me know.
You know, I have an active account with this people from ADP from another job.
That's
The
probably
correct
why,
answer is cisgender.
So that's probably why that phone number I just gave you gotta call them and let them know that you got a new job and you want your account to be with us. That's probably why you didn't get that email.
Can you have two accounts with them?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I'm not sure. That's why you need to call them and you need to find out.
You get it for a different email. That's what I did. I have one from a different company. You guys made a different email.
Yeah, so maybe you can do it with a different email.
Yeah.
Cisgender means your gender is the same as your sex assigned at birth. Transgender means your gender is different than your sex assigned at birth. Non-binary means you do not identify as a man or as a woman. Did you know 5 million workers experience sexual harassment each year? What is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment is always connected to gender. This may include sexual behavior. It can be behavior that is offensive, or threatening, or demeaning, or embarrassing, or something similar. These terms are complicated. The following stories will explain what these terms mean. Now you will hear stories of sexual harassment.
I'm Liang. I'm a financial analyst. I feel uncomfortable at work because the office is a boys' club. Men call out numbers to rate women's looks as they walk by. Women are told to wear high heels and tight dresses. Work events are held at strip clubs. Because I don't want to go to those events, I lose out on new clients.
Is it sexual harassment? Liang's co-workers disrespect women. The workplace culture puts Liang and other women at a disadvantage. Yes, this is sexual harassment. Liang does not need to be personally targeted for this to be sexual harassment. The purple hexagon icon means the behavior is connected to gender. The red triangle icon means the behavior is offensive or threatening, or demeaning or embarrassing, or something similar. Let's review. Sexual harassment is always directed at one person. True or false?
True.
The correct answer is false. Sexual harassment does not have to be one-on-one. Sexual harassment can exist in the workplace culture. Did you know more than 1 in 3 women experience sexual harassment in the workplace?
Hi, I'm Javier. I'm a preschool teacher. My performance review is coming up. If I get a good review, I might get a raise. On Friday, we all went out for drinks after work. My supervisor, Sophie, flirted with me all night. She put her hands on my leg under the table. It made me uncomfortable. I worry that if I tell her to stop, I won't get a good review, and I could really use a raise.
Is it sexual harassment? Sophie touched Javier in a sexual way. If it is about sexual desire, then it is connected to gender. As his boss, Sophie can give Javier a bad performance review. Javier feels like he does not have the power to say no. Yes, this is sexual harassment. Power. People often do not feel comfortable saying no to their bosses. Sexual harassment is more likely to continue when people can't say no. A note about no. No comes in many forms. Verbal no means no. Body language can mean no. Excuses can mean no. A tone of voice can mean no. Maybe can mean no. Where did it happen? The sexual harassment did not happen at the preschool. It happened at a bar outside of the preschool. Sexual harassment can occur outside the workplace. For example, sexual harassment can happen at a work party while traveling for work or at a client's office. Let's review. Sexual harassment only happens at the workplace. True or false?
False.
The correct answer is false. Sexual harassment can happen off-site and after work hours.
I'm Anna. I'm an undocumented immigrant and clean buildings at night. One night, my boss told me to clean a bathroom alone and followed me in. He pushed me against the wall and grabbed my breast. Luckily, I escaped. Later, he threatened to have me deported if I didn't have sex with him. I'm terrified.
Sexual assault. This is sexual assault because the boss touched Anna without her consent. Sexual assault is a crime. Anna can report the assault to the police. Anna can report regardless of her immigration status. Sexual assault is sexual harassment if it is connected to work. Is it sexual harassment? The boss threatened to have Anna deported if she didn't have sex with him. Remember, if it is about sexual behavior, then it is connected to gender. Yes, this is sexual harassment. A threat in exchange for sexual favors is sexual harassment. Threats. It is sexual harassment if you were pressured or threatened into a sexual act. This is true even if you went along with it. Forcing, pressuring, or threatening someone to do a sexual act is illegal. Undocumented workers. Anna's boss made threats related to her immigration status. Undocumented people are more vulnerable to sexual harassment and assault because they may be less likely to report. Threats about deportation are discriminatory and illegal. Did you know undocumented workers have the same workplace rights as any other worker in New York City?
I'm Mike. I work on a construction site with a team of 5 men. They talk about their sexual experiences throughout the day, which makes me uncomfortable. I don't join in. 2 guys give me a hard time. They say I'm not a real man. They also joke about me having sex with other men.
Is it sexual harassment? The men on Mike's team are targeting Mike based on gender stereotypes. Jokes about masculinity, sex life, and sexual orientation often make people uncomfortable. Yes, this is sexual harassment. This is sexual harassment whether or not Mike is gay. Let's review. A man can be sexually harassed. True or false?
True.
The correct answer is true. The person being harassed can be any gender. The harasser can be any gender. Did you know 13% of men have experienced sexual harassment at work?
My name is Danny. I'm a server at a restaurant. Most people think I'm a woman, but I'm non-binary. I do not identify as a man or as a woman. My manager said I will have to dress like a woman if I want to become a manager. He told me I need to look like a quote-unquote hot waitress. He also said I should flirt with the customers because that's what they like.
Is it sexual harassment?
Yes.
The manager's comments are about Danny's gender expression. It is illegal for the manager to require Danny to change Danny's appearance to look more feminine or sexy. Yes, this is sexual harassment. Did you know 90% of transgender and non-binary people report experiencing harassment in the workplace?
I'm Jessica. I'm a high school student. I have a part-time job at a clothing store. On my first day, my manager, Anthony, said to me,
"Your body looks amazing in that dress. Black girls have curves."
I was offended, but my coworker told me it wasn't sexual because Anthony's gay. Still, I don't like being judged for my looks.
Is it sexual harassment? Anthony made an offensive comment about Jessica's body. A comment about someone's body is connected to gender. Some comments, even if they are meant as compliments, can be sexual harassment. It does not matter that Anthony is gay. Sexual attraction is not required for behavior to be sexual harassment. Yes, this is sexual harassment. Let's review. Sexual harassment is always about sexual desire. True or false?
False.
The correct answer is false. Sexual desire is not necessary for it to be sexual harassment. Sexual harassment can overlap with other forms of discrimination. Sexual harassment and race. Anthony's comment is about Jessica's body as a woman and as a black person. Women of color experience sexual harassment at higher rates than white women. Sexual harassment often overlaps with discrimination based on race, national origin, religion, and sexual orientation. Did you know part-time workers and interns have workplace rights in New York City?
I'm Rachel. I am a research assistant at a lab. I just came back from maternity leave. When I take a break to pump breast milk, my male coworkers say things like,
"Hey Rachel, can I get some milk with my coffee? How about you do one and I'll do the other?"
I feel horrible every day.
Is it sexual harassment? The comments are about Rachel's body. Offensive comments about pregnancy or breastfeeding are sexual harassment. Yes, this is sexual harassment. pregnant and breastfeeding workers. In New York City, pregnant and breastfeeding workers are protected from discrimination. Workers also have rights to accommodations for pregnancy, recovery from childbirth, and to pump breast milk at work.
I'm Max. I work at a tech company. I went on 3 dates with my supervisor, Aaron. I decided I didn't want to date him anymore, so I told Aaron I just wanted to be friends. A few days later, Aaron asked me if I wanted to go to his place after work. I said I was tired, but the truth is, I'm just not that interested. The next day, Aaron sent me a text that said, "You look really good today." It made me feel really uncomfortable.
Is it sexual harassment? Aaron continued to pursue Max after Max said he just wanted to be friends. Aaron is Max's supervisor. Yes, this is sexual harassment. Let's review. Sexual harassment can happen between people who dated. True or false?
True.
The correct answer is true. Even if there was a previous romantic relationship, there can be sexual harassment. There can also be sexual harassment if there is a current romantic relationship. Is it sexual harassment? Ask yourself, 1. Is the behavior connected to my gender? 2. Is the behavior offensive or threatening or demeaning or embarrassing or something similar? What are my rights? You have the right to work in a harassment-free workplace. Who has workplace rights? Select all who have workplace rights. Interns, undocumented workers, part-time workers, independent contractors, temps, domestic workers, and off-the-books workers.
The check is in the 48,000. You could go pick it up, whatever. Cool. You can do it too?
I can, but I have to be somewhere at 2 o'clock. It's close to that address.
Okay. I mean, you can do it anytime before they close. So, yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
can do it today or tomorrow, but anytime before they close.
Alright, cool.
Just let me know as soon as you finish.
Yeah, I got you. I can text you.
Interns, undocumented workers, part-time workers, independent contractors, temps, domestic workers, and off-the-books workers all have workplace rights. Gender discrimination. You also have the right to be free from gender discrimination. You cannot be treated badly because of your gender. Examples of gender discrimination: paying a woman less than a man because she is a woman, giving a man less parental leave because he is a man, not hiring a non-binary person because they are gender non-conforming. Did you know 60% of male managers say they are uncomfortable working alone with a woman out of fear of complaints of sexual harassment? Women in the workplace. Men, do not avoid working with women because you're afraid of sexual harassment complaints. That is gender discrimination. To avoid sexual harassment complaints, do not sexually harass people. What must an employer do? Employers must stop sexual harassment. Managers and supervisors. The employer is automatically responsible for the actions of the manager or supervisor. This includes if the manager or supervisor sexually harasses someone, or if the manager or supervisor fails to do something to stop sexual harassment. Individual consequences. Managers and supervisors may be personally legally responsible if they do not act to stop sexual harassment or if they are the sexual harassers. Sexual harassment between coworkers. Employers, managers, and supervisors must act if they know about sexual harassment between coworkers. If they have reason to know something is going on and ignore the warning signs, the employer can be legally responsible. Is the employer responsible?
My name is Sonia. I'm a transgender woman and a graphic designer. Right now, I'm doing contract work for a nonprofit. I'm working out of the nonprofit's office for a few months. The staff make it hard for me to be there. Someone taped a drawing of me with a penis on the fridge. I showed it to a manager. She didn't do anything.
Is it sexual harassment? The staff made and displayed an offensive drawing of Sonia. The drawing makes fun of Sonia's gender. Yes, this is sexual harassment. Is the manager responsible? Yes, the manager must take action to stop the behavior of the staff. If the manager does not act, the organization is legally responsible. Did you know independent contractors have the right to work free of harassment in New York City?
I'm Fatima. I'm a receptionist at a hotel. I'm a Muslim woman and wear a hijab. There's a male guest who stays here regularly, and every time I see him, he asks if he can see my hair. Today he said,
"Does your boyfriend get to see your hair? I'd love to be the guy to take that off."
I told my boss what was going on, and she's done nothing.
Is it sexual harassment? The guest is making inappropriate sexual comments about Fatima's appearance. Sexual comments are connected to gender. Yes, this is sexual harassment. Is the boss responsible? Yes, because the boss knows about the guest's comments and could do something about it. An employer is responsible if they don't take action to stop harassment by a third party. A third party is someone who is in the workplace but does not work there, like a client, customer, or guest. Sexual harassment and religion. Fatima is also being harassed because she is Muslim. People who wear religious attire are particularly at risk for employment discrimination, verbal harassment, and physical assault. Religious discrimination is illegal.
My name is Lourdes. I am a nanny. The family that I work for is renovating their apartment. The construction workers are always there. One of them tells me how beautiful I am and how I should smile more. He asks me out every day. I always say I'm not interested. It bothers me, especially because he does it in front of the kids. I told the mother of the family. She said that it doesn't sound that bad and that I should just tell him to stop.
Sexual harassment. The construction worker asks out Lourdes every day at her workplace. Her workplace is the family's home. Repeatedly asking someone out can be sexual harassment. Yes, this is sexual harassment. Is the mother responsible? Yes, the mother knew of the harassment and allowed it to continue. The family is Lourdes' employer. They must stop sexual harassment. An employer must take action to stop harassment by a third party. Vulnerable workers. People who work in small or isolated workplaces are at greater risk for sexual harassment. Examples of vulnerable workers are nannies, cleaners of hotels, offices, or homes, and home health aides. All workers, even if they are the only employee, have workplace rights. Let's review. Employers must act if they know about sexual harassment by a third party. True or false?
True.
True. You have to answer.
Oh, really? Yeah. So I just have to press X.
No.
The correct answer is true. Employers are responsible for sexual harassment by third parties if they know about the behavior. Sexual harassment harms the workplace. Sexual harassment can cause quitting or absences, low productivity, low morale, and interpersonal conflicts. Sexual harassment hurts everyone, not just the person being harassed. Legal requirements. An employer must have 1. A written anti-sexual harassment policy. 2. An anti-sexual harassment poster in English and Spanish in an obvious place. 3. An anti-sexual harassment fact sheet given to new employees. And 4. An anti-sexual harassment training for workers every year. You can find these resources at the end of the training. Consequences for employers. Employers may have to pay victims for lost wages and emotional harm. Employers may also be required to pay fines, change policies, be monitored, and/or take trainings. Remember, employers, managers, and supervisors, if you know about sexual harassment, you must take action to stop it. How should the employer respond?
Today, the construction worker asked me out again, but this time he asked me where I lived. I was worried he would follow me home. I told the mother of the family I worked for. This time she took action. She told the contractor that the worker could not continue working in her home.
What did the employer do? The mother reported the situation to the contractor and demanded that the worker no longer work in her home. Employers should take complaints seriously and act immediately.
The bank promoted several women to the leadership team. The new leadership created a group to provide input on how to improve the workplace. Then, the bank updated its policies on sexual harassment. It also banned inappropriate locations for client meetings, including strip clubs.
What did the employer do? The bank listened to its employees and developed new policies to address the employees' concerns about sexual harassment. Did you know complaints of sexual harassment decrease when women are in positions of leadership?
I told another manager about the drawing. This manager took down the drawing, investigated the incident, and brought in a trainer to talk about gender identity and sexual harassment, and everyone attended. The incident was bad, but the manager's response made it better.
What did the manager do? The manager immediately removed the drawing. The manager quickly began an investigation. The manager brought in a trainer to address the problem. Managers and supervisors must take immediate action.
My boss was standing next to me when the guest checked out. The guest said,
"You Muslim girls would look so much prettier without that thing on your head."
So my boss said to the guest, "Please don't speak to the staff that way." The guest said,
"I'm allowed to say what I want."
My boss told the guest he's no longer welcome at the hotel.
What did the boss do? The boss first told the guest to stop. Then he told the guest to not return to the hotel. An employer must take action to stop sexual harassment, even if it means losing business. How should the employer respond? Encourage reporting. Take complaints seriously. Separate the people involved without punishing the person who complained. Investigate thoroughly and Take corrective action quickly. Retaliation is illegal. Retaliation is punishment for speaking up about sexual harassment. When is it retaliation? Retaliation can happen after someone opposes sexual harassment, reports or files a complaint of sexual harassment, or participates in an investigation of sexual harassment. Here are examples of retaliation: firing, denial of a promotion, threats, a negative performance review, change in scheduling, exclusion from meetings.
I'm Ditya and I'm a cashier. A month ago, a male coworker told me he liked my new haircut. I reported him to my supervisor, Claire. Claire said she was annoyed that I made a big deal out of nothing. After, Claire took me off the schedule because she didn't want any more complaints.
Is it sexual harassment? Comments about appearance are often connected to gender, but the coworker's comment was not offensive. No, this is not sexual harassment. Is it retaliation? Yes, because Claire is punishing Ditya for reporting behavior. It does not matter whether the behavior was actually sexual harassment. If Ditya believed that it was, that is enough. The store is legally responsible for Claire's actions. Let's review. It is illegal to punish an employee for reporting behavior the employee believes is sexual harassment. True or false? The correct answer is true, as long as the person believes there was sexual harassment and reports it. The person reporting it is protected from retaliation. Ways to stop retaliation. Employers should have a zero-tolerance policy for retaliation. Employers should have several ways to report sexual harassment. Employers must not hurt the employee who reported by, for example, moving the employee to a bad location or making the employee work an unfair schedule. What do I do if I see sexual harassment? A bystander is a person who witnesses sexual harassment. A note about the word victim. People who have been sexually harassed use many different words to describe themselves. Some people use the word victim. Others use the word survivor. Some people don't identify as a victim or as a survivor. This section uses the word victim because it is a legal term. Bystanders can help victims. Victims often question themselves.
I am the only person who thinks this is wrong. No one else cares that this is happening to me. It won't stop even if I do something.
Victims often feel alone. When a bystander does something, it can make a victim feel supported. A reminder for managers and supervisors. This section discusses what bystanders could do to stop sexual harassment. Managers and supervisors, you must take immediate action when you think sexual harassment may have happened. If you fail to report, you and your employer are legally responsible. What did the bystander do? Bystander intervention.
I heard a group of guys rating the looks of new female employees. I was surprised that one of them, Will, told them to stop. The guy said it was just a joke. Will repeated that it was not okay. I thought what Will did was brave.
Let's review. What did Will do? Confronted the sexual harassment, participated in the sexual harassment, or talked to Liang about the sexual harassment.
What's the answer is?
First one, confronted.
Confronted.
Will confronted the sexual harassment. He told his coworkers to stop. Confront sexual harassment. Bystanders can confront the harasser. Bystanders can let the harasser know it is unacceptable. Bystanders should be firm, clear, and concise. An ally is a person who believes sexual harassment is wrong, supports victims of sexual harassment, and takes action to stop sexual harassment. Men as allies. Some men feel uncomfortable confronting sexual harassment, but male allies make a difference. 96% of organizations see progress when men promote gender equality, but only 30% of organizations see progress without men's support.
I told my coworker Maria that I hate walking by the harassers every day on my way to pump. I asked her for help. She offered to record the comments and jokes by making notes in her phone. She'll send them to me, then I'll decide what to do about it.
Let's review. What did Maria do? Confronted the harassers and told them to leave Rachel alone. Told the lab director, or documented the comments.
Which one, document?
Okay. Maria helped Rachel by documenting the comments and giving the notes to Rachel. Document. Bystanders can help victims by recording audio or video on a phone, taking photos, and writing a note or an email describing what happened. Documenting the harassment may be helpful to the victim, but it is not required for the victim to have a claim. Bystanders can be victims too. The harassment may also affect Rachel's coworker, Maria. Sexual harassment does not only harm the target of the harassment. Sexual harassment can exist in the workplace culture. Maria has the right to work in a harassment-free workplace.
When I escaped the bathroom, I ran into my coworker. We went into an empty office so the boss couldn't see us. I told her what happened. She comforted me. Then she said, "You have options. You can report the incident." She offered to connect me to an organization that can help me.
Let's review. What did Anna's coworker do? Confronted the boss, told Anna to quit, or offered to help Anna. Anna's coworker supported Anna and told her about her options. Follow-up. Bystanders can check in with the victim after the situation has passed. Bystanders can offer help and support.
Steven, a guy on my team, knew that the other guys gave me a hard time. Steven has started interrupting the harassment. One day, when the guys started making fun of me, Steven called one of them over to give him a hand. That stopped the comments.
Let's review. What did Steven do? Called one guy to a different area, talked to Mike about the situation, or told them to stop. Steven interrupted the harassment by calling one of the harassers to a different area. Distract and interrupt. Bystanders can interrupt the behavior in a way that stops the harassment. Bystanders can find a way to separate the harasser and the victim. Bystander options. Bystanders have options.
Hey guys, for the people that did receive the ADP registration link, can you guys, did you guys all re-register?
Yeah.
You guys all re-registered? You didn't get the email. Did you register? You registered? Sir, did you register?
Yes.
Alright, so when you go on your browser, and you go to adp.com, it'll tell you to put the username and password.
Yeah.
Put that in, and then let me know if you see an I-9. Alright?
So you said to the number we call and then we tell them.
Confront the harasser.
Right after we finish
Document
this,
the
call them
behavior.
and let them know that you
Follow
have
up
an
with the
account
victim.
a different company. and
Distract
you wanna
or
make contact
interrupt
with
the
this company.
situation.
Right? I'll be
Bystanders
here, so
can help create a harassment-free workplace.
Real quick, you guys use.
How do I
Work to Work
file
also?
a complaint?
You guys used to use the app Work to Work as well or not?
Which app?
Work to Work. When to work.
When to work? No. Oh, so I'm gonna give you 3 apps. One is gonna be for your driving, your manifest. That's gonna be your auto fleet. Your second app is gonna be ADP, the one you just downloaded. That's gonna be for clocking in and clocking out. And your third app is gonna be for scheduling, for you to see the scheduling.
That's what I'm saying. Is that
that one is connecting.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I also have the When to Work as well.
Gotcha.
At your workplace, employers are required to have an anti-sexual harassment policy and complaint process. Employers must share their policy with employees. People who think they have experienced or have seen sexual harassment should report as soon as possible. Outside of your workplace. Outside of the workplace, victims can file a case against their employer and or the harasser. Victims can file a complaint with an anti-discrimination agency or a case in New York State Court. To learn more about legal options, review the information on the website.
First, and then see what it says.
Anti-discrimination agencies. If you are a victim of sexual harassment in New York City, there are 3 agencies that can help you. 1. New York City Commission on Human Rights. 2. New York State Division of Human Rights. And 3. U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. You can file a claim even if you have an arbitration agreement. New York City Commission on Human Rights. Individuals may file with the New York City Commission on Human Rights if the sexual harassment occurred in New York City or impacts the employee's work in New York City, and the sexual harassment occurred within the last 3 years. New York City Commission on Human Rights. To file a complaint with the New York City Commission on Human Rights, call 311 and ask for human rights. Call 212-416-0197 or visit nyc.gov/humanrights. New York State Division of Human Rights. To file a complaint with the New York State Division of Human Rights, visit www.dhr.ny.gov. You must file within 3 years of the sexual harassment. U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. To file a charge with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, visit www.eeoc.gov. You must file within 300 days of the sexual harassment. If you want to file a complaint in federal court, you need to file with the EEOC first. New York State Court. Individuals may directly file a case in state court. Employees can consult an attorney to understand the options. You must file within 3 years of the sexual harassment.
Okay.
Local protections. Sexual harassment may be a crime if it involves things like physical touching, physical confinement, or pressure to have sex. You can contact your local police department. Remember, you have the right to work in a harassment-free workplace. Together, we can build workplaces that treat everyone with the dignity and respect we deserve. Certificate instructions. Congratulations on completing this training. To get your certificate, please enter your name and select the Submit button. Certificate page. If you are taking this training on a desktop, computer, or laptop, please click the Save button to print or save the certificate to your computer. If you are on a mobile device, use the device's capabilities to take a screenshot.
Alright guys, so we're done with sexual harassment. Now we are, okay, let me check the ones that did the registration for ADP. Can I see if you guys have the I-9 in front of you or not? Okay, so you created a username and password?
Yeah.
Okay. So onboarding. Click on onboarding. Yeah, so you're gonna complete this onboarding.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But I think that the ADP that I have, the email is with the old company.
Yeah, that's why you would have to call the number I gave you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let them know that you're joining a new company. So they might ask you to provide a different email address to create a new account, but I'm not sure what they're gonna ask you. So that's why I call them right now and see what they say.
Can I call him right now?
Yeah, you can call them right now and see what they need from you. So we're here, onboarding, and then you're gonna complete onboarding. It's gonna ask you a few questions, maybe like dependent information, stuff like that.
Okay.
Alright, so just press next.
Yeah.
Read whatever you need to read. You got it?
Yes, I got it completed.
Yeah, so this is the main one we need you to do first. The verify employment eligibility. That's the main one we need. So, okay, so press next and then.
What do you mean I know?
Yeah, let me show you. So you're here.
I got the app already.
Okay. So you get onto the app. You're gonna see where it says onboarding. You see onboarding? Press on that. Yeah, so you're gonna start this fast track, so you're gonna press next, and then you're gonna make your profile. It's gonna ask you a few questions. We'll skip through just okay, so make the profile first. And then
Take the photo.
you can do that later. Okay, I think you're fine. Just press next. Yeah, active no longer. But next. So you already have all of this. You have ADP.
Alright. You get to 7:30?
7:30.
So I can stay here and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, you can go
there
after. You can go after. I'm gonna set you up with a background check before you leave.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, you have my phone number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, take my phone number and text me your email address. 917 592 3649.
I'm pretty sure I'm out of the house because I don't have this number memorized.
Oh, that number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have the card in the house, but I just don't have it.
Do you have anybody over there that can get you that number right now?
I'm gonna call my dad.
Yeah, maybe make a call, see if they can send you a picture or something. Thank you.
I keep cutting my social security wrong.
So go ahead. Fill all this. I mean these sections: generation, suffix, and professional suffix.
No, you don't need to put that. This is something else. No, you don't need this.
Yeah.
See this personal. I don't think you need this. Yeah, this is fine. Legal address, put the address. Phone number, you put it. Wait, this is your mobile number or home
Yeah,
number?
it's
This is
a mobile number.
It needs to go to mobile.
Alright.
So just, no, you don't gotta delete it. Just take this, copy it, and just paste it here.
Employee.
Okay. Okay, that's the email. Okay, everything. Tax ID, this is some basic. You have to re-enter it here. Put it in.
Social, right?
Yeah, the same number you put.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Anybody needs
Is it new workers' compensation?
It's what?
It said it gave me the option like new worker compensation.
No, it's not compensation. Wait, they're not letting you talk to any agent or anything?
Oh, now it is.
Okay. Here? Yeah, so you verify when you're eligible. That's what you
This is, it said 401k, what is that? I noticed in the home screen.
401k?
Yeah, is that like
So,
an option?
yeah, that's an option. So 401k is basically when they match your, like for example, let's say you get paid and you wanna put $20 or $50 into your 401k, the company I guess matches it.
Is it effective immediately or is it 1 year? I've been working for 1 year.
For what, the 401k?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's 1 year or if it's 90-day probation.
I have two last names.
I would have to
First
find
one
out
is
from HR.
M-E-N-A, and then the second one is M-A-Y-I.
You guys are BGM? That's the
Yeah,
name of the
VGM.
employer?
Yeah, VGM, or it might say Fast Track.
Yeah, it might say Fast Track LLC.
Yeah, Fast Track.
D, you said D, right?
Hey, how are you doing?
Yes, it's
No, D as in David. And then E-L, V as in Victor, and I.
Wait, your full name is Eugene what?
Yes.
Which office? Which office did you go to?
Yes, like V as in Victor.
Who do you have? Are you one of my drivers? I'm confused. Yeah. For accident?
I'm in, like I have an old ADP, but that's from the old company I used to be with, and now I'm trying to get hired into somewhere else, and they just told me to call you guys to see if you can change the email. It's Solar Logistics, the old company.
Fast Track LLC.
Fast Track
LLC.
LLC, the new one.
You guys are gonna get confused in the beginning because it's BGM, Fast Track. It's
Yes.
more like, but the mother is BGM and then Fast Track is the father.
So, what did you... She said that she can change the email.
I'm sorry?
She said that she can change the email or the telephone number.
Okay, can they give you a verification code? Tell them you got a new job, you're trying to sign into a new ADP.
Yeah.
And you haven't got an email, so you think it's conflicting with the other ADP. So maybe a verification
Tell her that you're
code.
trying to work for Fast Track LLC, Fast Track Leasing LLC.
So, the thing is that they sent me an email to my new, to the other email that I have, so I can sign into the ADP, but I didn't receive anything, so I'm assuming it's because I had an ADP with the old company I used to work for. Hello? So in the new place that I'm at right now, they send me an email so I can sign in into ADP with them. But since I have an old ADP account, I'm assuming that I didn't receive the email because of that. Because I used to have a old ADP account.
Can you use the bathroom real quick?
Yeah, it's right when you leave the room to your right.
Yeah.
So, because also when I tried to put like the email that I gave them, it says that I don't have an account with that email. Yes, it says that I don't have an old account. Like I don't have an account with that email. That the account that I have is with the email that the other company provided me. So she said that I shouldn't have issues.
You shouldn't have an issue? Okay, I just resent your email address to our payroll manager. I'm gonna see what she says. Let's just give it a couple.
I also saw online, I did research that you, when you sign in and do a new ADP, you have to use a different username and a different everything, okay? So make sure like you log out of your ADP and you don't use the old username.
No, it's Fast Track. What?
Yeah, Fast Track Leasing.
Yeah, Fast Track Leasing is the new company. And then the
You gave me, I thought it was sitting right there. Okay.
so she's gonna do it again. She said that that I shouldn't have. She said that it's probably that
the email went to spam or something, right?
Yeah, but the thing is that the account that I have is with the old like that email is theirs, like from that company.
Also, you have to use another email.
I don't have an ADP with my personal email, so that's what she said. She said that she don't understand, but she's gonna try
maybe
again.
check again. Maybe they sent it wrong in our end, you know? Because I googled it online while you were doing that, and it said you can have multiple jobs on ADP, like you can go to switch profile, switch job, whatever. But it also said you just have to use a different username. It didn't really say anything about the email, so maybe it's just the email was sent wrong. Just check again and
I
see.
don't have an email.
Like you checked like recently, because he just did it again. Like check spam, and I know it sounds like stupid, but I've dealt with a lot of the drivers, and it was stuck in spam. And it's probably like total source is called or something. I don't think it's like, or just press search ADP. And obviously the recent one for today, not prior ones. So nothing at all in spam, in search ADP? Try total source. When the rest of you guys got the email, the email said total source or ADP?
ADP.
It says ADP.
Yes. Mhm. Okay, date of birth 03/30/1998. The last four of my social 5209 and my phone number 718-496-2396.
Hey, how's it going?
She's still trying to figure it out.
Let me see you. What about you guys?
She should get the email. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm done.
You're done?
Mhm.
Alright. No, there's still other stuff that you can do, like.
Yeah,
But you can do all of these later if you want.
Uh-huh.
Like, you
And what's
see
this
set
stuff?
of
Because-
tax withholding, company policy, payment option.
I think she
complete
said that
bank
you guys might have put my name in.
Perfect. Okay, check your email if you got a registration.
No.
You still there?
No, she said that she checked and that you might have put like spelled my name
Incorrectly? No, check your email. I think they sent you an email.
Oh. I see. Yes.
Yeah, there it is. So you
So-
just register.
So you can just hang up on us.
Oh.
Yeah, you can.
So-
You already got it.
So I already got the email, miss. So I'm gonna hang up. Okay. Thank you very much. Hello. Okay. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna just hang up because they're gonna keep at it. But you sure you need anything help? Well, okay, thank you for it'll be super long to hang up. Any of you guys have like 2 jobs on the ATP? Just curious.
Do I like create a new account?
Yeah, new account. You don't use the old username or nothing because that is just gonna tie you up with the old one.
This will be direct deposit, right?
You have to make sure you put it. Go to
Says we apply.
benefits, go to home, and I think benefits, like the heart is like a thing of benefits, and then it's gonna say something about pay, like towards the bottom. Hold on. Bear with me. And it takes about a week or so,
A week for what?
like for it to actually get into your account. Like I had drivers do it on a Thursday, and if everything went well, by Friday, the next paycheck, it will be already direct deposit to them.
So right on time.
Yeah, but if everything is fine. I mean, I had a situation that they did it and they did something wrong and they had to pick up the check again. And but it usually takes just like 1 week, one pay period.
Is there Wi-Fi here if you connect to? I hope that it's still connected.
I will find out with Argo. I'm not sure. Okay, so it's on pay. So you see how it says recommended, clock. Well, you don't get clock yet. Time card, pay. On the app. Oh, you're still waiting? Oh, sorry. So to add your direct deposit, instead of clicking on the benefits, you click on pay. And then you scroll down and then it says,
Wait, so get out of benefits?
yeah, get out of benefits. Sorry. Yeah, get out of benefits.
Yeah, go to pay?
Yeah, go to pay. And then scroll all the way down. When it loads, it's going to say direct deposit.
That's what I'm saying, since we apologize for the problem. Let's try again.
Okay, so yeah, that happens with this. Yeah, but it will be in that page. Not at the second, maybe because the internet, like refresh it. Yeah, try it again.
As soon as I.
Yeah,
I don't exactly know what to do.
Wait, what are you up? Did you get the verification code email?
Yeah, I got the email, so I'm pressing here.
Okay.
And it's sending me like.
Are you gonna use obviously on this?
So yeah, so basically now you have to create your ID.
Yeah,
So
you can use
Okay.
on that. Can Can you actually send me those two certs
yeah.
that I downloaded?
But
Two
if
or
I
three?
put like as long as because the username could be basically. No, I know, but it's telling me like to search me up or something. Helpline, Okay, let's do this again. This email is associated with HR. Log into Store, access ADP service portal. Enter your user ID and password.
Because you said I have to create a new one, right?
Yeah, you don't use the old one. Yeah, so basically you create a user ID now, like a new one, like whatever name, it's not the email. A user ID could just be your first initial of your name and your last name and your date of birth at the end. Whatever you're gonna remember, basically. And then press next and you keep doing it from there.
Hello? Hello?
Let me know if you need help. Is there Wi-Fi for them, like, or guest
Yeah.
Wi-Fi?
Yeah, there is. The password is Cadillac.
Okay, so it's fast track, the Wi-Fi, and the password is Cadillac.
All lowercase?
Yeah.
Or lowercase, yes.
Fast track 21, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. How do you spell Cadillac? C-A-D-A-L-L-A-C?
CADILLAC.
Alright, gotcha.
Just that.
So like, I put here, like to identify me, it says to put like the email that I put for like in the employer.
Yeah, so I'll put the email.
It's right there and it says not found.
Argo, this is the exact email you guys sent her.
That's the email I received in here.
Just bear with me, he's gonna see what's going on the other end. But aren't we glad we did this here, so nobody can be lost at home? I think the hardest part of the training was the ADP part.
And the email, do they have the code? Do they ask for to do a new registration?
It should be like a, how many emails did you get? Only one?
I'm gonna check right now.
I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit.
No, that's good, it's better be honest.
My, what, the ID? My ID?
Like I always got that message, so it has to be activated by the company.
Manny, just to be sure, auto fleet, like he's jumping a little ahead, which is not bad, but he can't just sign into, not yet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, until, like, give it like another day or two, yeah.
Wait for what?
For the auto fleet, like.
Oh, auto fleet?
Yeah.
Because I had it and I wanna try to like
No, so once you finish the drug test and the background check and the results come back, then you could get into auto fleet.
oh, okay, so
Yeah.
so the company is the one.
They will give you the access, basically.
Has everybody else finished their I-9?
Yeah.
You finished? Everybody else? Robert Walls. Did you finish the I-9? I-9? Employment eligibility verification?
I'm in that now.
Oh, you're in it now? Okay. Gianni?
Yes.
You finished I-9?
So we don't get a login code, just we gotta go through the, where you're located, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they give you a verification code. So, I mean, it depends on the email, because I didn't see the verification code on hers either. It was just click in to sign in. So just make sure you got one email.
No, there's only one.
Okay.
So maybe they're gonna send me now a verification code. Once I fill in this information. Employee or associate ID. No?
Can you still open the email?
Yeah.
Look in the email.
There's only one.
No, look inside that one email, see if there's a code there.
No.
That's it, just double check.
It's completed.
Cause I think they do put a code at the whole welcome aboard thing, and click here, I think there's an actual verification code on that email as well. If you read that whole email. Did anybody have to put a verification code
For what?
for the ADP?
Yeah, send your email.
And it's that one email you got, it was inside that one email?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta read it. It's
Yeah,
probably-
Deborah. No, you know what, I think the email that I got was from ADP itself, I don't think that was from you guys.
Well, that is like
Yes,
technically us.
ADP was helping
Like that is
them,
the email.
Security services?
But once
Let me see
we said
email,
that
hold
they
on.
got
This is
we
the email.
got the email, they
that's not the
hung
email.
up on them.
Yeah.
So that they
You
could
gonna
register,
put
but it's
search?
saying that the email is not found.
But
And I put like
But
my
does she need to call
information,
her-
and
call
it's
them
just
back?
bringing up the old
115.
the old job.
Hold on a second. Okay, dear Lewis, blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's udelvimania@gmail.com, right?
Has been sent to HR, fast track leasing. Please log in to store your onboarding activity.
Oh, man.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, everybody got in except for 2 people. And, yeah. That one and the UW. Yeah, and they were helping him, like,
No,
they
that's
gave a
from somebody else.
registration.
That's
for
from- I mean, that's from my other- from my
So
other
make sure you
He
make a
hung
new
up
one
on
that you
them
don't
once he
remember.
got the new email from you.
Remember user ID. Oh.
Like whatever you're gonna put, you can put like champion.
Hey, Lorraine,
one.
does it say that his email address is not found as well, or?
No, not yet. He
Oh.
just got into the sign-in part. I got it up to her, but she said it was not found. But he's
Okay.
just making a username right now.
No, but this is if you already have a
Yes,
user
the
ID.
Udelvi is the one
You
that's
understand what I'm
where
saying?
the
This
email
is if
says
you already
not
have a
found.
user ID. This is where when you
And
use.
the other guy.
No, when you click on new
can't
user,
do
it's
that.
gonna ask you for a code.
He's about to put in a username.
No, if you put the other one.
I think just try the user ID, like creating the user ID, because the link that they sent you was kind of like, it was like a creating link basically. Like it's basically telling you to make the user ID.
Look, and then there you put the email that you told them, and it's gonna say the same thing that it.
No. And just try something
Yeah,
different from, you know,
For
with,
which
if
one?
let's say you have champion 101, you put champion 10 for this one.
Yeah, no, it's a different
Oh, I see,
server.
I
Anyway.
see. No, so we're still waiting for him to make it.
Did you do everything?
1 through 9.
Okay, the onboarding thing with your taxes and all that stuff.
How did you pay 2 accounts? Did you
Okay,
go-
got it.
No,
No,
I have to call the number, it's the only way.
Yeah, so call them back, call them back.
Yeah, that's what she
You
told me.
ready to
She told me it's the only way, calling the number.
Okay, so just call them back, see what happens.